Here, let's get going here. Welcome, Patriots. We're not even all the way with that volume. Now we are. Well, good evening, Patriots. Good evening, everybody. It is good to be here. Good. Wow, both chats are lit. We should be live 5x5 on both my X as well as America Rising Media on X. And lovely to see everybody over on Rumble. What's up, Rumble? And we got the one and only pill.net. You guys will see to the right side of your screen, both chats. Looking lively as always. Good to see Aqualux, Marissa, Baseball Bat, Moonshine Mitch. We've got Krista, Marissa, Aqualux, Ash, USA, and Boyer. Laura Vogel. Good to see Bobby Tunes. You select Sober Lady in the house. Yes, free Tina Peters. Keep Tina Peters in your prayers, everybody. And good to see Utah 101, Vamix over on Pilled, as well as Krista, Marissa, Misadventure, Jax, Utah 101 again, McBastard. Yes, that soundbite is perfect, isn't it, Marissa? But what in the world could she be talking about?
And Trump was like, no.
I totally agree. Goddamn.
And Trump was like, no.
Oh, my gosh. Shout out to Ami Kozak, I think. Shout out to Utah 101 crushing it over there and Pilled. And I see everybody. General Buford, Misadventure, Mountain Dog Boy. And we got some Gold Pill loves. Guys, I will actually, you know what? Shout out to Dixie. Dixie kicking off the show with a phone call, says, I love y'all. Thank you. No, thank you, Dixie. I saw you drop that phone, the Gold Pills, right right after I posted the show. So God bless you, Dixie, for your continued support, as well as Jen Hall with the can. Says, evening, friends. Good evening, Jen. And we got a hell of a show in store for everybody. What's up, Feisty?
I am going to have so much fun tonight.
You are?
I am going to have a blast.
Let me turn you up a little bit. Are you turned up on Zoom?
I will find out.
Okay.
Audio settings all the way up, output.
There we go. Maiden Pew says, Sean and Ash had me crying the other night with those Tucker clips. Yes, that was hysterical. It damn near killed me. I damn near had a heart attack. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny though.
I missed it.
Ami. Oh, I have Ami. Yeah, it is Ami Kozak. I have a new one from him, and it's Megyn Kelly oriented.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and him portraying Megyn Kelly is addressing Tucker's audience.
Okay, you got to start with that.
I think that's a good place to start.
I think that's a good place. That's got to be done.
You know what? How about, before we even get started with the bullet point news that we got in store for everybody, and Feisty's got something in store for you guys, well, or for me, for that matter.
I got it for both of you, for the crowd and for you.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And, Tucker has some new viewers, new members of his audience that, from what I read, are Muslims. Fans and even some jihadis apparently are out there watching Tucker. And, I mean, say what you want. Those are fans. So you can't discount that. Fans are fans, so don't go writing them off just yet. That Tucker, and he's getting fans. And so having watched him get fans, it's kind of made me think, kind of have to look at what I've been doing. And, I've come to realize that a lot of the people speaking out against radical Islamic terrorism also happen to be very pro-Israel. very pro-Israel. So it's kind of made me think a little bit, you know? I've also come to realize that a lot of these people in the conservative movement, especially the neocons, who are pro-life, are also very pro-Israel. So it's kind of made me have to take a look at my rhetoric on abortion, you know, because they're also pro-Israel. So thinking, not so sure how I feel about abortion now that I find out all these pro-lifers are also very pro-Israel. Another thing that's come to my attention is a lot of these people who are very for gun rights are also very pro-Israel. So kind of makes me have to take another look at the Second Amendment and kind of reevaluate, you know, my stance on the Second Amendment, because I don't know, you know, kind of taking a look at my whole political ideology, philosophy, principles, and kind of thinking if there's fans on the other side of those, worth considering. Might want to reevaluate everything I once believed and stood for, you know, because it's working for Tucker. So I have to think, am I being manipulated? And I refuse to be manipulated. Yeah, I will not be manipulated. I'd rather die than be manipulated. I'd rather die than do that. What else? Oh, where do we stand on trans kids?
It depends what Tucker says.
Does he have any new trans fans?
We'll find out. Let me reach out to his team.
All right,
Get right
yeah.
back.
All right, so update me on what he says.
Yeah, we'll find out if he's changed on that.
Whatever Tucker says.
Can we find out if Tucker has any trans fans?
We'll wait to hear what Tucker says.
Yep, stand by. We'll find out.
Whatever Tucker says.
Just keep in mind you've already flipped on this one once, okay? So
I will not be manipulated. Shit.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Just
If you did this all night the other night, I could see it.
this is the first minute. This is what Ash and I did.
I want to talk about your relationship with the president and where it stands currently. When was the last time you
He dresses and looks just like Tucker.
were in the Oval Office?
Just a few months ago, I went to the Oval Office. I had gone several times, actually, like a lot.
And what did you see when you were there?
You know, everybody knows this, but I'll just confirm it. Like, BB had been in there before me, and he probably had a gun to Trump's head.
Really?
Like an actual gun, like a loaded weapon.
You're saying Benjamin Netanyahu had a gun to his head?
And he had Donald Trump in a chokehold, and I know that Donald Trump had a wrestling background. He was involved at one point in the WWE, but clearly that didn't matter, like at all. And BB had a
Like
gun
at
to his head
all.
and said, "We're going to Iran. We're doing this." And Trump was like, "No."
And you saw this with your own eyes?
I mean, Washington insiders know this. They know this.
Wait, so this happened or didn't happen?
I mean, I wasn't in the room, but I imagine it was something like that was going on. I mean, you don't go to Washington multiple times without trying to influence the president for your agenda.
But you went. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Okay, well, what is your assessment of President Trump currently?
I got.
when he does this.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Okay,
That's
I can't
precious.
even. Damn near killed me. Especially the ending. He just loses his mind and goes to.
well, what is
about who you are, what you've done, you can dismiss as lies.
Okay. Shut up, Nazi! I'm friends with J.D. Vance.
I've been hearing this fantasy for 2 years now. I know every detail.
I love that!
You're the most dangerous patient we have. Your crime is terrible, one you can't forgive yourself for, so you invented another self.
Totally agree.
Do you understand?
Totally.
I can't. I had no
Okay.
plans of playing this tonight, guys.
But I'm glad you did. Thank you. I needed to be enlightened.
Well, all right. So he's now deciding to interview Rep. Massengill.
Yes.
Or
Isn't that
Massey.
today? I thought he did that today.
Yeah,
didn't
he did that again today, and the post was APAC. APAC is afraid. APAC hates this guy or something like that. Yeah, APAC hates Rep. Massey. So I responded with,
So do all the
IPAC
Republicans.
loves Massey, though.
IPAC.
IPAC, yeah, the Integrity Political Action Committee,
Right.
who just happens to support open borders, and they think that no humans are illegal. That's how they
And they
roll.
want Israel annihilated. Go ahead.
And they want yeah.
You have to add that.
And then you
piece
got
to it.
Megyn Kelly is in that camp now, but they say that it's all for clicks. I don't know how it's all for clicks. How can that be all for clicks? You got to be losing clicks at this rate. No,
I would hope they were losing clicks, but there seems to be still a very large group of people that think Israel is the root of all evil.
But
So as long as that is still out there, I think there will be Tucker fans.
Yeah, but Trump's popularity has only grown, arguably, since then.
Yeah,
He's
but
100% within MAGA.
Doesn't that tell you that Tucker's popularity isn't as big as it looks?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how can it be for the clicks when
Well, what if the
Trump's
clicks
not
are
losing
purchased?
what if they're purchased?
We've seen that.
Or what if it's...
He came out, I mean, he got fired. He gets on to X and immediately goes up to 1 million followers. He's got all these viewers. He gets all these clicks. And Trump's popularity is rising. Support for what he's doing in Iran is rising. Leaves me only one thought. He doesn't have the clicks you think he's got.
It literally just clicked with me right now. Maybe that this is providing a bridge for many on the left. We've entertained this prospect before, you and I, with others, not so much the Tuckers, but maybe it could be providing.
Why couldn't it stretch into the Tuckers?
Right. And you know what the indicator that I'll look for before the midterms? Now, it won't be 100% an indicator, but is if and when they flip to Trump, to support Trump and anybody Trump backed for the midterms.
I think that may happen. I keep remembering when Trump said, when he was on the campaign trail with Lindsey Graham, don't worry, he's going to get me the liberal vote. So there's a strategy behind a lot
so
of
he's done it
things.
before.
Yes.
Lindsey Graham's a perfect example, too, for that. Well, everybody, here we are. We got all sorts of stuff to get into, and I think I saw Mick Bastard out there in the chat say, yeah, it's been hell of a shit show in the news today. I would agree with that. It's kind of been a shit show in the news. There are a couple individuals that are not currently a shit show, but their opposition would be a shit show. Who am I talking about? Well, it's Spencer Pratt. I said this last week. This dude is about to knock the competition out of the park. You watch, and sure as shit, we're seeing he's got some campaign ads that I showed him the other night on the news. Boom, home run. And you got the debates that happened that were I think he crushed it. In fact, 84% of the viewers of that debate all thought Spencer Pratt won that debate. 80. It's in the 80s. So don't quote me on the 80s. I thought I heard 84 today. So that's big. Also, U.S., as we started off with the Jesse Waters clip, says U.S. and Iran have exchanged fire in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. intercepts Iranian attacks on 3 naval ships, Feisty. Also, I don't know if anybody caught this, but the Tennessee Democrat state senator, Tennessee state Democrat state senator, stands on a desk, fights with the sergeant at arms after Republicans pass a new congressional map, eliminating the one sole Dem district. Wow. Also breaking deep.
You do realize that
What?
once all these maps are drawn, what we've known for decades is going to prove true. This country is conservative.
So, can I tell you the first thought that came to my head was, can we free Tina Peters with that information? But I don't think we can.
I don't think so.
I hope she's freed this summer.
So do I.
The one angle that I see with freeing her is to have her become a federal witness. And but do you need a state judge to sign off on that?
I don't know that answer.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know that answer.
I know that
Do I
request.
think she is going to be a federal witness? Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
But how that process works,
Yeah,
I don't know.
who knows?
I'm still hanging out hope on the civil rights investigation. There's been no new news of her being thrown into solitary or getting beat up by a fellow inmate ever since Harmeet Dillon announced that she was looking into civil rights violations in the Colorado prison system. So I'm hoping there's something, because they're being a little more careful with her now.
Oh, Tina, you think so?
You haven't heard any news. I mean, we kept hearing about how she was thrown into solitary. She got beat up, remember?
So who do you think is being careful with her? You think the state's being careful with her, or okay?
Which tells me they've got a skeleton or two. Remember what Harmeet opened up an investigation on civil rights abuses in the Colorado prison system. If they're being real careful with Tina now, they were concerned about that.
Good. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you see? I'm not an elephant. I'm just.
You are an elephant. You have the memory of an elephant. You're not going to fool me. C.W. Varnum says, Sean, my wife thinks you look like Boston Rob from Survivor. I don't know who Boston Rob is from Survivor.
We'll find out here in a moment.
Yeah, maybe. And who's Boston Rob? I find it interesting that he's got the name Boston in his name because I'm awfully close to Boston. That's funny though, which is a first. I've heard the two that I hear the most is oh crap, what's his name from Friends? The goofy dude, the one that everybody makes fun of. Somebody in the chat would probably say it. And of course, Robert Downey. I get Robert Downey.
Sean,
what?
go to the chat. This is why she's saying it. Oh no, I couldn't send it. I'm gonna send it to you in DM. You'll see it right away.
What? Oh my gosh. I guess. All right, with the hat backwards.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that better?
The hat backwards. You look like Boston Rob
Damn.
from Survivor. Yeah.
Shit, I guess I kind of do, huh?
You do. Right down to the eyebrows.
Oh shit.
The only thing he doesn't have is your glasses, which you don't
well,
normally wear. Tonight is.
Well, I do when I gotta read stuff, but I get great sight from far away. I can see like there, but anything really close, I got to use one eye. I don't know why. Also, I don't know if you heard about this, but this is breaking. Deep State leaks CIA Iran war dossier from to Washington Post. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't, but I was expecting it.
Ooh. Deep State leaks CIA Iran war dossier to WAPO. So
I have a feeling, like I showed you, there's some high-level people that have been removed, and the retaliatory action about that school. This is where it's going. They're going to go after Hegseth with everything they've got. They're worried about him.
Hegseth? You think they're worried about Hegseth, really? Mm-hmm. Well, there's nobody that Trump could put in replacement of Hegseth that's going to measure up.
No.
Nobody's
going to measure up.
No, Hegseth's doing a bang-up job. Be careful.
He's also taken on the Leviathan virtually by himself, right? I'm sure he's got a background. You know, he's got DOJ and FBI and a number of other agencies, but he's in the middle of a war taking on an administrative state that is trying to thwart his successes.
And you would say the successes have reached hyper speed now at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's ramped up in the last 2 weeks, maybe? Mm-hmm. With the I feel like it all started to turn right at that SCOTUS ruling.
Yeah.
You know?
But you've also got you've got you got some squeeze campaigns going on with Cuba and Brazil,
bifurcation.
and Germany, the Brussels bifurcation, yes. With Brussels and the city of London, all of these all of these economic. She won't leave me alone, John. She acts like she's never fed.
I almost forgot. Where's Drew? Is Drew out there in the chat? Is Drew out there in the chat? I got to thank him. These are the new shirts, America Rising shirts. I got mine in the mail today. It all says America Rising down the sleeves, and it's got this.
The logo.
Oh man, this is the shirt I was looking for. So shout out to Drew. When anybody sees Drew in the chat, let him know. Let me know. I want to thank him.
He designed it?
Well, I designed it. I sent him the design, and he had a whole bunch made. So these are the ones I want to have. I want to sell. I bet you people. Tell me, guys, would you buy a shirt like that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Be careful what you wish for. Kamala heels up Harris wants Democrats to release the 2024 campaign autopsy report, and Dems are apparently very nervous about her because many of them do not want her to run. They are running thin right now. Look at their cast of candidates. It is pathetic. The fact that they're marching out the Graham Plattners of the world, even this chick who's supposedly running opposed to Karen Basuda in L.A. I can't think of her name, and it's got a weird name, but she's oh my gosh, she's even worse than Karen Basuda. That's what Spencer Pratt calls her. And she is as communist as it gets. Trump lights up a reporter for asking why he is renovating Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool amid a conflict with Iran.
Oh, for God's sakes. Did you hear what he said it was going to cost to do?
No.
$1 million.
Who said that? The reporter
He was
or Trump?
talking about it. No, he was talking about it in a presser the other day that he got. He looked at the pool. It was a complete mess. It's been leaking for years, which is all true. Okay. And he got a price to get it refurbished, and it was like $300 million. And he talked to, I can't remember which contractor, but he had several contractors come and look at it. They're changing the granite. They're doing a better seal on the granite, and the whole thing is going to cost a little over $1 million. And they got the audacity to ask a question that's stupid.
Yeah, you got to drain it. I mean, that's a lot of work either way, because that's a lot.
Yeah, but they feel they could get it done in. It was like a week or two. That's what he told the president.
Wow, that's record time. There's Drew. There's Drooby Doo. What's up, bro? Thank you for the shirt. This is nice, bro. Good work, and thank you as always. We just got to figure out how we got to start selling these now. Gonna put these on the market, but good to see you, brother. Let's see. Also, let's see what else we got. What's going on with the hantavirus? There's a lot more going on there than I think we realize.
Okay, I did some digging on that today. Of course, right?
Yes.
Because Mary sent it to me. There's a lot of talk about the hantavirus because you got this obscure ship.
Yep.
Remember 2020 with the cruise ship, right?
Yep.
Obscure ship, 5 people, blah, 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 blah. And I started looking into, there's a patent that goes back to 1997. One of the patent holders has since died. So you've got a bigger story. But I'm going to remind everybody as they're stirring up or, they're kind of dialing up the fear that we're supposed to have about. Okay. This is not 2020 at all.
Meaning?
There have been some guardrails put in place that would change that. And I'm just going to run through because it's a long post that I sent Mary because I really did some digging. But I said, how far do you think this is going to go? Did some checking. Right now there's no approved vaccine. The only place where there's a vaccine being worked on is Bath University, which is funded by who? The UK. Wellcome and British Heart Foundation are part of their funders. Okay. So they're currently working on the vaccine, but there's no phase 3 candidates. So the likeliness of this coming out before the election, less than 10%, I give it. So it's very low, if at all.
The timing is just too.
But they're doing what they did for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They put that news out there, get it saturated, and then start. You should start seeing videos now of people that are crying and in pain. In fact, I think there was one that I saw of some guy supposedly has the symptoms. But you should start seeing the videos, just like they did at the run up to COVID. We got all those videos out of China. Do you remember?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
wow, really?
I want to point out, though, because we had the Hensley ruling, right?
Yep.
So let's go backwards. COVID was a DITRA thing, right? We showed that, proved it.
DITRA, yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We might need to remind everybody.
If DITRA tells a private contractor to do something,
yep.
The Hensley ruling will hold that contractor accountable because you can't follow an illegal order, remember?
Oh,
DITRA has no authority to do that. But there's been other things that
there's almost like a chain of custody type deal, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, so wow.
You've got the fraud. If you remember the fraud, what was her name? Jackson, wasn't it? Jackson versus Pfizer, where she claimed there was fraud in the clinic, in the lab.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
Yeah, they said that the case was dismissed because the government knew and paid for the fraud anyway.
You got to see this sticker in the chat. I don't know if have you seen that yet? The metaphorical hole, feisty digs.
Yeah, the hole. Yeah,
that is. I've never seen that before. For the Win did that one? Oh my gosh.
That's been around for a little bit.
Yeah, 77 days. They say I gotta yoink. Hold on, let me grab that sucker.
Yeah, I love it. I already added it to my favorites.
All right. So, a Wi-Fi by 5. Can you guys all hear us just fine? I've had to turn you up a little bit.
Again?
Yeah. You're not very loud.
Wonder why?
I don't know. Maybe tilt the mic. You know why? All right.
Is that better?
Yes, because it's unidirectional. Notice if I tilt it up, you can't hear me very well, but if I tilt it down, you can hear me. So if it's facing if it's the front is facing you, that's better.
I don't know how to. Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
All right. So, and what else we got here? Breaking, Florida just busted a massive international child pornography ring
yesterday.
With over 1 million videos involved, including
child porn.
Babies. Babies, guys.
Yeah, one of the reports that came out a few years ago is they were scraping places like Facebook and modifying those videos.
So it doesn't really follow
so
Facebook.
I don't know. We don't know.
They're
but
scraping
that's
people's Facebook. Oh.
Scraping the Facebook pictures, videos, photos, all of that. That's part of why Melania was behind the Take It Down Act. Because people are finding out that they're in these videos.
We're going to need we're going to need.
So I don't know how many of the videos are actual, but it's still porn regardless.
We're going to need to stock up on millstones. My goodness.
Right?
Holy smokes. California gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton's Doge team just found that taxpayer dollars are funding illegal aliens to campaign for Democrat candidate Javier Becerra in overt violation of federal law, which should be a bombshell. Steve Hilton is absolutely crushing it. Also, Tennessee drops Pride Month, guys. Shout out to Tennessee. They just dropped Pride Month for Nuclear Family Month.
Oh, nice.
Congrats, Tennesseans. That right there is impressive. Scotty Pressler has announced his endorsement of Ken Paxton in replacement of John Cornyn.
Right.
This comes after he says John Thune failed to get the Save America Act passed last month. But I know we've talked about this. I think it's not Thune, it's Tillis.
It's more, well, there's a Tillis clan that are obstructionists within the Senate. That is a fact.
Really?
So I don't know where Thune actually stands. He has supported it in the past, but he's the leader, right? He's the majority leader. So
Thune is. Yeah.
So he would bring a vote, just like the House Speaker. They bring a vote to the floor when the whip finds the votes.
Who is the whip again in the Senate?
I don't know.
I don't know either. For anyone who doesn't know the term whip, here's how I always best think about it: it's the individual that is in charge of whipping together all the votes, the vote counts. Yeah. Who's going to vote for? Who's willing to vote for it? Right. That's what their job is, to whip them together. Right.
It's John Barrasso right now.
Okay. He's was a surgeon, I think.
For the Republicans, it's John Barrasso, and it's Durbin for the Democrats.
Also, breaking: Brian Glenn is retiring from media. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah? You know who his girlfriend is?
No.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. I remember that now. Think they're going to go find a hole and crawl in it?
It's weird. It's another weird relationship because he at least portrays to be a Trump-supporting, so
did Marjorie Taylor Greene.
But I think they're still dating it. That is. I don't know for that for sure, but she left her husband for him. I know that much. Tulsi Gabbard releases, going back to that CIA thing, from John Solomon, Tulsi Gabbard releases memos showing CIA cover-up. Solomon says newly released memos from Tulsi Gabbard show intelligence officials, quote, tried to doctor President Trump's intelligence briefings to keep concerns about foreign election interference involving China
out of the PDB
and Venezuela from the president and Congress. From the daily presidential brief, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So you got an interesting thing that's coming out now. Do you not notice how stuff we've known it's not really recycled? We're adding to it. We're getting the documents behind what we've known.
Yes. So we're getting the confirmation. Yep.
So did you listen to the Hannity Kash Patel interview?
Yeah, I played the first half of it 2 nights ago, and I think Johnny played the second half last night.
I played half of it on my show yesterday. Did you catch the part? In fact, it's a part of my little spread that I've got up here. Did you catch the part where he said we're coming, it's been 30 years?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, right? What happened 30 years ago?
You're talking about Comey.
Nope.
Oh, come on. You're talking about One-Eyed Jack there.
Well, he was director of the FBI. He would have known a certain person was taking on the FBI at the time. We're going back to Durham.
Holy cow. No,
We're going back to Durham.
Okay, so
I've got it all up in my spread, so I'm going to hold it for now. But if we're now wrapping it up to this point, and when you're getting that information, remember when they keep talking about how the statute of limitations keeps continuing because.
When the
and what
conspiracy-
did Cash
yeah.
say? They just tried a coup again. And we had the coup at the Department of War, right? The attempted coup.
Yeah.
We've got, and he said they just tried to do a coup again. It was in that interview. So they keep adding to their
Well-
litany of RICO charges.
Okay,
right?
so all right, this is so interesting. This is so interesting, Feisty, because if I'm the enemy and I know that they're investigating and that they're possibly working on an indictment on this, what I might do is continue it in perpetuity. It's a delay tactic, right?
Well, no, at some point it's not a delay tactic because what you're doing is you're sinking your own ship. If you've got enough evidence, Cash Patel said, Hannity asked him specifically, in the near future, do you have enough evidence to take them all down? And Cash went, yes.
Yeah, I missed that part. Ash, did you catch that one? I must have missed that one.
He's absolutely certain.
Oh.
Number one. So I'm just gonna pull out a few of those, but if you don't mind, I'm gonna wait till it's my turn.
Yes.
Because I've got it all up. But because I really want to work through this carefully, because what I did on my show yesterday is I took everybody down the memory hole of Russiagate. And I showed the documents, I showed how it went through the FISA, the FISC, how we got Mueller. I went down that whole memory hole yesterday as we played the video. I only got into the video about 50 minutes before my show had to end, but that and I let it continue in my chat after we closed the show. But that interview has so many nuggets in it that just prove the research I've been talking about for years. I'm proving it.
You know,
And so what Tulsi just released is something we knew, that the information was being withheld from Trump. But this is not something new, by the way. First of all, you got to ask yourself if the CIA is involved in withholding information from the PDB, which they're barred by law from being a part of, remember?
yes.
This is why we have DNI. This gets even bigger with the deep state. And you got to now go back and look at who's Joe Kent's predecessors, plural, because that person is responsible for gathering all that intel.
Joe Kent?
Yeah, that's Joe Kent's job.
Oh my gosh. So
I don't know who Joe Kent's predecessors were, but that's that role.
maybe that's. So is this so? Is this
We're talking a major.
So why did Joe Kent? Does that contribute to why Joe Kent left?
I don't know. I can't answer that. His complaint was he wasn't allowed to investigate. Well, he's not supposed to. That's not his job.
Right. The other thing is the other thing I noticed in that interview is when he was asked about Ray, he didn't.
He wouldn't answer. He didn't really agree with when Hannity brought up Comey's name.
Yeah.
The first time he said, "Well, Comey's a bad guy." And he went, "Yeah." And my husband says to me, "Well, he just said Comey's a bad guy." I said, "No, he didn't. He just agreed with what Hannity was saying. But if he'd have said anything out loud with an indictment hanging over Comey's head, that wouldn't go well."
That wouldn't go well.
So later, when Hannity asked about
point.
past directors, he said, "Well, I'm not going to get into directors." And he started with Comey, went into Ray. I got that as coming up too, by the way.
Yeah, I heard him get a little bit, not even that much into Comey. I mean, he opined a little bit on the 86.
He said, well, he talked about outcomes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean Hannity opined on the 86-47.
Yes.
And people seem to forget. Go back and look at that post.
You know,
It is interesting to me. The 8 consists of 17 yellow shells. 647 equals 17,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
So I just find that intriguing.
You know, you really got me thinking because I've entertained it before, but I haven't really sat on it until you brought it up this last time, which is again proof positive why I say sometimes it's important to repeat things. Not
I'm
overly
known,
repeat
I'm
it.
known for doing that once or twice.
It's
yes.
okay to, though. Sometimes it takes, I got to hear things sometimes 2 or 3 times before it really sinks in. And the situation I'm talking about is when you brought up the point of when he said no reasonable prosecutor would even prosecute this. First of all, nobody in the FBI should ever espouse something like that. And they know better not to. You think Comey doesn't know that? Of course he does. My first thought was, no reasonable human being would do that because you'd probably get killed because it's connected to Hillary. But
like I said to you, did I say it to you? I thought I did. I know I said it again yesterday. People have to realize something, and Cash brought it up again in the Hannity interview. And I stopped the video yesterday and said, listen to what he's saying. It is illegal for Comey to determine that there's no prosecutable crime there. He said there was no reasonable attorney that would prosecute her. Why? Because they're an investigatory agency.
You should have. It would have been up to Loretta Lynch at that time to step in and say, I agree, or something.
And this is where, well, because it never made it to DOJ. That's what pissed the Democrats off. When he did that presser, he said, there's nothing here to prosecute, close the folder, puts it back in his drawer. And when Trump came in, that investigation's still open. He preserved that investigation.
Yeah, he preserved it, right. So
if he'd have sent it over to DOJ, it would have been put into a burn bag that actually got burned.
You know who's an SOB that I'd like to see held accountable is John freaking Brennan.
Well, that's where he's coming up because, and I see now you're going through my tabs. You're not allowed to do that.
He had that private security company, the Analysis Corp, TAC, which got caught tampering with Obama's passport files while they had a contract with the State Department. And while Brennan was secretly serving as an intelligence advisor in Obama's 2008 campaign. Holy cow. This happened right as people were questioning Obama's true place of birth and his ties to Pakistan. Wait, what? Yes, Pakistan. Weird. Key cooperating witnesses, Lieutenant Quarles Harris Jr., I think, got tangled in the connected ID theft ring, agreed to flip for the feds, and then 1 month later was found with a single gunshot to the head, execution style, in his car outside a D.C. church. That murder, by the way, is still unsolved to this very day. Obama then cruises to victory, becomes president, and sure enough, appoints slimeball John Brennan as CIA director. Brennan was Obama's cleanup guy, one of a few, I'm sure. Doesn't seem to be any coincidences to me. Let's not forget Rumler. Catherine Rumler was also a fixer of his. But Brennan is one guy I'd like to see held accountable. Also, let's see. It's got to be a conspiracy. It has to be. It's got to be RICO. Eric Bolin and Steve Bannon break down the suspicious $40 billion oil trading pattern tied to Trump announcements. I don't know what he means by that. I grabbed that one because I thought you might be interested in it.
I don't know what you're referring to.
And it's all right, I'll get to it. Superstar Democrat just quit in shock, in a very shocking resignation, suggesting that something big is coming. Sorry.
Shit. I mean, come on. We're talking about aliens, for God's sakes. Do you need more?
Is it possible that Trump could be declassifying UFO shit as a means of to draw cover for something?
No, I think he's finally answering a question.
Oh. Okay.
I really do. I think that's finally going to answer a question.
All right.
I mean, if we've seen it, people start questioning, and he will make it happen.
Well,
Cash talked about it with Hannity and said they've already delivered their documents.
bringing trust and faith back to government.
Right.
Right. That could be what
And
that's
that's
about.
a key thing, right?
Yes. It's one of his core tenets here. Acting Assistant Attorney General Omed A. Asefi delivers remarks at Engelberg Center in Innovation Law. Okay, federal jury convicts Virginia man on charges relating to the deletion of U.S. government databases. Thought of you instantly. That's who is that? You remember we talked about this. Sohaib Akhtar. Sohaib. 34
Sohaib.
of Alexandria. What's that got to do with? Am I getting ahead of something? I don't even dare. I won't even dare.
No, you can go ahead with that one.
Okay. Because that came right on the heels of something else. What was it?
You got Louise Lucas raid yesterday.
Wait, what? You think that's what got her raided?
Nope. Her raid has been under investigation since 2021.
Wait a minute.
I'm not going any further. Nope. Speak to the hand. Nope.
We got a couple thank yous. I see you guys dropping some gold pill love out there. Look at all that love. You guys are incredible. Dylan, 1954 with 117 gold pills. God bless you, Dylan. Thank you so much. And thank you to Charlie 3 or 5 with 3 cookies. We haven't measured up to Charlie's approval yet in order to get the 5 cookies. So we got to up our game.
Well, wait, just hold your horses. I'm going to end before you dismiss me for the night.
Okay.
Because you normally do. I will end with something that's going to have everybody giggling.
Okay, good. Thank you to Conserva Chris with a cookie. Too many people live in denial or choose to ignore the nefarious human nature of greedy, vanity, selfishness, and ego.
Right.
They are in denial or ignore because people don't want to accept how much our society has fallen from grace and how few have convictions in their principles. That right there is well said, Chris. As always, thank you, Q with the cookie. Trump called in somebody who did pools because he did a lot of pools and he got the job done fast and for $1 million. You know, if I did a job for $1 million, I can't tell you just how magnificent that house would look. I'm not even kidding. $1 million. It seems like $1 million ain't shit in DC.
No. Congress doesn't even ring the fraud bell until something's 100 million.
Ash just said, "Whoa, Pilled and Rumble are literally tied for likes right now." Oh gosh, we got a race between Rumble and Pilled. Let's see who can win tonight. Thank you to Krista with a cookie. Says, Feisty, is Sadiq Khan involved in that vaccine in Bath? I thought there was a connection / conflict of interest between he and his wife, Sadia's parents, and Big Pharma. But hold on, she said, Feisty, sorry, I didn't mean Sadiq Khan. I meant former Prime Minister of England, Rishi Sunak, co-founder of London-based investment firm Theleme Partners. His firm invests in Moderna, which made millions on the COVID vax. So is he involved in the company in Bath too?
I don't know. It's a university. It's Bath University.
Oh, really?
So remember the HAPE map I showed you on Monday? Mm-hmm. Those universities are a part of that influence network.
Wow.
Which is why I dug in, and it's a UK funded University, and I welcome, and a few other people are involved in the funding, but it's all being moved to Canada. So that's the new world order, is going to Canada, or at least they think that it is.
What? Mm-hmm. Okay.
In fact, just so you know, we played it last night on my show, Promethean. Susan did a spot on it, and she's talking about Canada, said the exact same thing I was saying.
Oh, they just put is that what their video yesterday was about?
I think it was yesterday, yeah.
Because
Susan Kokinda put it out.
Yeah, because I have one from Promethean Overviews called Trump's Pressure Campaign on Iran Changes Everything for China and the World. Iran just bombed one of China's transports yesterday. Knowingly?
I don't know, but China ain't going to be too pleased. Remember, Trump is going to China in 8 days.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
14th and 15th, so 7 days. But I'm not counting at all.
Damn. Okay. All right, so
Iran bombing that transport is interesting. China's not going to be very happy.
No. They're not going to be happy at all.
Getting China to put pressure on Iran now seems pretty logical, doesn't it?
It certainly does, yes. My goodness. All right.
And Trump said, by the way,
Yep.
that when he gets back from China, it will be a new world. He said those are his words.
Meanwhile,
it'll be a historic trip, and it'll be a new world.
Meanwhile, Feisty, at the same time, I know we're a little long in the tooth here, guys. I got a couple clips to get into, and before I hand the floor to Feisty, but at the same time, Rubio is meeting with who?
Oh, don't steal my thunder!
I'm not going to steal your thunder.
I got so excited over that one. The symbolism. The symbolism. My God, that was so wonderful.
Those are two individuals you would like to meet with each other, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
And, well, he also met with Paralyn.
Hey, we got shout out to Vamix, just gifted a sub over there on Rumble. Let's go, Vamix. God bless you, bro. Thank you so much. Chris says NWO in Canada slide clicks. Is it almost time to have fun? Don't you dare, bro. Don't you dare. Yeah, Canada. Well, Canada is Canada. So if I was an invader, there's probably one country I'd probably target for sure. Now, all right, let's get into. Gonna get the Jesse and the stroke face Ingram out of the way, and then I'm gonna give you the floor. Matter of fact, I have a great segue for you. Yes, a way to segue into what you have. So yes, yeah. Vamix with $1 Rumble rant. Let's go, Vamix.
Let's get ready to rumble.
God bless you, bro. Thank you so much for the support. Let me share this one with you. So, breaking, everybody. 300 agents raid Los Angeles drug park. Wait till you see the fentanyl haul they just got. 19 kilos, guys, seized. 19 kilos.
Oh, my God.
Seized. That is enough to wipe out an entire city. Spencer Pratt is going off on LA's quote leaders. $400 million and nothing, I repeat, nothing works. So shout out to Spencer Pratt, who's been crushing it. If you don't know who Spencer Pratt is, he was a so-called reality TV What I mean is a very scripted reality, quote, reality TV. He was like the bad guy on it. Bad guy no more. He's pissed off. Check this out, guys.
Fox News alert, 300 agents just raided at a Los Angeles drug park and found 19 kilos of fentanyl, enough to wipe out a small city. They called it Operation Free MacArthur Park.
This is the part of the park that's claimed by the 18th Street Gang. But today it's our park. We're taking it back.
Crowds moving out as DEA federal agents storm in. Half the park closed and nearby businesses surrounded. A place notoriously known for open illegal drug use. The business where they're serving this warrant today is closed, so right now they're busting through the door.
Mayor Karen Bass let the park go to hell in a handbasket. Bodies folded in half. They call it the Fent Fold. But Bass thought the druggies were just doing downward dog. Namaste.
That operation was ordered by the feds. However, we have been working in collaboration because we were very well aware of the drug dealing that was taking place there. We have used a comprehensive approach when it comes to MacArthur Park.
Yeah. Last night, 3 people running for mayor in L.A. took the stage. One let the city burn, one's in charge of homelessness, and one's a former reality star running independent, Spencer Pratt. They all want LA's vote. But the moderators looked the ladies up and down and said, really?
Downtown Los Angeles seems to be in a state of crisis. You have a graffiti tower. You have a $500 million bridge, 6th Street Bridge, where somebody ripped out 38,000 feet of copper, so it's in the dark. You have restaurants, Kohl's at 6th and Main, Clifton's at Broadway and 8th, that survived the Depression, Prohibition, and World War II, but they can't survive the human feces outside their front door.
LA's no bueno. You see it and smell it. Karen Bass says, just keep your eyes forward and your nose closed. Nithya Raman, like the noodle, says, smell? What smell? Spencer Pratt pulled a Trump and said, you people are crazy.
The reality is no matter how many beds you give these people, they are on super meth. They are on fentanyl. The DEA statistic says 93% of this is a drug addiction problem. I talk to producers. They have to pay gang members right now to keep the streets safe, to go film anything on the streets of LA. So absolutely no, these 2 politicians have failed Hollywood times 1,000.
Spence wants to take the ladies on a little field trip.
I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 70, what did you say, 3,000 people for $400 million? This is an absolute failure for both of them. They're a team.
Everything these ladies touch burns, literally. The homeless encampment just went up in flames along the 110.
An exclusive look at a tunnel under the 110 freeway in San Pedro. Firefighters now have full of water. The northbound lanes here shut down more than 24 hours from a fire where at least one person had been living. Just a few hundred yards away, more tents, more trash.
I've been doing this since I was 18, you know what I mean? I'm 31.
More people living feet from speeding traffic. Encampments spread one into the next, just steps from where the fire broke out. And then this, right next door, another discovery. Someone is living in another tunnel under the 110 freeway.
So LA's got a homeless problem, a fire problem, and a homeless fire problem. But the ladies at the top say, no problemo aquí.
Homelessness was going up year after year, and under my watch, it is the first time we've had a decrease in street homelessness. While it went up in the country 18%, it came down in Los Angeles 17.5%.
Decrease in street homeless just means they move the crackheads under the freeway, where they can play with matches. Noodle Girl doesn't even want them out of sight. She wants to let them shoot up next to Little Sally.
Do you support the ordinance that restricts encampments in front of schools or daycare centers? Mayor Bass, I'm going to start with you. Yes or no? Ms. Rahman, yes or no?
I support keeping our streets safe. I did vote against the structure of this particular ordinance. And it is because at its best,
it's a yes or no.
It does not keep, the way this ordinance was structured,
it's no.
It does not keep our children safe. It does not keep our children safe. No,
Mr.
It
Pratt,
doesn't keep our children safe enough.
It's a simple yes or no question.
These two loons couldn't get a job in any major company in America. But LA is going to give them a promotion? Noodles wasn't even born here.
This is a MAGA Republicans' idea of what Los Angeles looks like. This is really not the city that I love so much. We need to make this city so much better.
Yeah.
We have to work so hard to ensure that this city works for everyone who lives in it. And crucial to that is actually ensuring. I'm sorry, I was still speaking.
California's on fire, and Democrats are drinking right from the hose. Pratt's running on hand me the extinguisher and let it rip.
Before this set of fires, we sent out an email. We made sure that we were connecting.
But is that enough, just sending an email?
And so the winds reached close to 100 miles an hour, and the planes were unable to fly. So if there were reservoirs, if that reservoir had been open, it would not have worked.
She's an incredible liar. Yeah, everyone on their phones, Google it. 40 weather stations in the Pacific Palisades. It never went above 40 miles per hour. She is referencing the Altadena fire.
No. I have to interrupt you. No name calling.
She just
please.
lied, though.
Yeah, but no.
No name calling? What? Hey, dog. He called her a liar. It's not name calling.
That's not name calling.
It's not
God.
He's calling out an act that she did. She lied.
No name calling.
She called me a liar.
Shut up, bitch!
Spencer Pratt's running on common sense. Sound familiar? You know, like having enough water to put out the fire.
She drained both.
I love that now when you call out communists, you're automatically deemed MAGA.
Both of these reservoirs that these firefighters needed to put out these fires. Without those two reservoirs filled with 117 million gallons and 5 million gallons, these firefighters had to fly all the way to Malibu and Encino to get water. As mayor, I will never drain the reservoirs that we need for wildfire protection. I'm going to add 20 dip sites all around the communities connecting to pools. So God forbid.
That is an American badass!
The water system goes down
good
again.
to hear from somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about?
Yes, and it's so articulate, just easy to understand. You know, and she comes back with some bullshit cockamamie. All that was meant for drinking water. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Shut up, lady.
These dip sites that will be connected to individuals' pools will fill up for the helicopters to have water.
We've seen this before. Reality star turned politician, common sense, charisma, no script, just saying it straight. Running against the establishment. Republicans are watching, and if they aren't, they better be. Because Pratt's energy plays in L.A., plays everywhere. And he's not going to stop. He's just getting started.
Did you do what you needed to do tonight?
I mean, I would have liked 3 more hours. We got a lot of failures to talk about that these people have. So we should run it back. Part 2.
Spencer Pratt, thank you.
Appreciate you. Don't forget to vote. Take your ballots in right now.
I think he's got it in the bag. What do you think, Feisty, huh? How do you do?
I hope so.
Yeah.
We got to get a couple of district maps changed a little, though.
I think the combination of what him and Steve Hilton are doing have been incredible.
Yes.
Did you catch Hilton's debate?
I didn't see the whole thing. No, I caught pieces of it.
Again, you want to talk about a turning point for this country. Everything seems to all be coming to reaching some, dare I say, bifurcation. And and when we have the likes of Steve Hilton, okay, and Spencer Pratt for mayor of LA and governor of California leading candidates for those roles. Oh my gosh. The deep state, the communist libs are dying, okay? They don't have a prayer. Look at the candidates that they are marching forward. They're nobody. Did you see the woman that was standing next to that's working hand in glove with Karen Basura? Steve Hilton offers a deeply controversial solution to California's homelessness epidemic. What a concept, Feisty. Enforce the law.
Can't do that.
Living with rampant homelessness, like all crime, guess what? That's a choice to make. And I couldn't agree more.
If you recall, they gave them drugs.
Yeah, which is enabling. Enabling. That's encouraging. That's incentivizing. Check this out.
Now, it's very likely that if you win your race, you're going to find yourself having to work with radical progressives like Karen Bass or maybe Ms. Rahman, although it doesn't look like she'll win. How would that work out?
Well, on the homeless situation in LA, just to be specific with Karen Bass, I've made it clear that the first step we have to take on homelessness is to enforce the law. All those homeless encampments, everything on your screen right now, it's illegal. It's always been illegal, but they won't enforce the law. And I've said that when I'm governor, I will use state law enforcement resources, which I can do, to enforce the law and remove people and then get them into, exactly as Spencer was saying, into drug rehab and mental health treatment. But you've got to start by just realizing that everything we're seeing on the streets is completely unacceptable. And if she won't do it, I'll get it done.
Now, Steve, I mean, I sense things shifting a bit in California, and it might be wishful thinking because I've spent so much time there and always imagined I would live in California. My family's there. But Steyer seemed, I think he seemed a little lost last night at this debate. Was I reading something incorrectly in the way that debate went down? He seemed unsteady to me.
Yeah, I mean, they are all over the place because their instinct is to pander to the far left, to the unions, the people and the groups that basically control the Democrat machine in California. But they also know that the people want change. And so on the one hand, they say all the same things that myself and the other Republican candidate, Chad Bianco, say about what's gone wrong. They all make the same observations about everything costs too much, it's impossible to build anything, the cost of utilities is too high, all of those things. But then when you get to their answers, it's either the same old leftist nonsense, or in the case of Tom Steyer, even worse. Like I said in the debate the other night, if you think it can't get worse in California, I've got two words for you: Tom Steyer.
Well, and again, they do their anti-oligarchy tour, and then they depend on Tom Steyer, who has spent this. I can't even believe this. He has spent $145 million. Is that right? On this, is that is that right, or is that exaggerated?
No, Laura, it's wrong. It's wrong because it's just gone up. He's just dumped another $15 million. The total is now $160 million. For what? I mean, I'm beating him in the polls, and I just think there's a saturation point with his ads. I mean, you come to California, all you see is Tom Steyer ads, and I don't think it's going to get him. I mean, look, he's in the top group. There's no question of that, and there still is a possibility, because of this ridiculous top two system, that we end up with two Democrats in the top two. It's looking good for me right now. I'm leading in the polls. I'm happy about that, but it's a bit too close at the top. You've got Becerra, who's being pumped up by the machine, and you've got Tom Steyer with all his millions. So we've got to really get behind one Republican candidate. That's the argument I'm making. The ballots are out. They're in your home if you're watching in California. You got to vote. We got it. The opinion poll lead doesn't turn into a win unless people actually go and vote, and we need to do that right now.
Now, Steve, have you had any conversations with Chad Bianco about somehow working together for the betterment of your state? And I'm not calling for anyone to drop out, but it seems at some point, if you want to save the state, you've got to sacrifice personally, and it's nothing against him. But if it turns out that you are significantly up in a couple of weeks, what then?
Well, look, I've always been open to working with anyone who wants to come and join the fight to save California. We have a good relationship. We had a nice chat last night before and after the debate. So I think that we'll see. I think you're right about the timing. My door's definitely always open, and it's very important we avoid the calamity. I mean, can you imagine if you have two Democrats in the top two, and that's the choice for California, more of the same or even further left? It's a disaster, actually for the whole country, because we can't. It's now or never for California. If we don't change course right now, I think this state is in real trouble. That brings the whole country down.
Man, Stevie Boy Hilton is just so very well articulated. He's going to make a great governor. If not this time, definitely someday. Shout out to Vamix, who just came in hot with another.
Let's get ready to rumble!
One subscription over there in Rumble. Shout out to you, Vamix. God bless you, bro. And thank you to... Where are we here? Andy B2 with a cookie says blessings and much love to all. Let's effing go. And did I miss the mention of the current patent holder for the hantavirus? You know, the U.S. Army.
The U.S. Army, DITRA. I mentioned that, remember?
Yeah, deep state bad actors maybe keep deep stating. Still?
That's what I'm saying. We just had the issue with the attempted coup at Department of War. I don't, you can't dismiss the fact that there's some desperate people because of past behavior. That's why I went through, you didn't get it at first, but that's why I went through the whole COVID story and how it became a DITRA project and where the funding came from. And isn't it interesting, after an attempted coup, we have hantavirus.
Hantavirus.
Yes. So you can't dismiss all of this. I mean, it's just the way it is.
I don't know where Spencer Pratt sits in the polls. And for mayor of LA, let me see here. He is ahead of Karen Bass, apparently. He's surging. He's surging incredibly right now. And let's see here. Thank you, Andy B.
Because he sounds halfway decent. Could that be?
Because he makes sense.
Yeah, right.
And was that another? Yes, it is another sub gifted by Vamix. Shout out to you, bro. Crushing it. Thank you, man. Thank you to Conservative Chris with a cookie. On a completely separate topic, with summer coming up, pool, shock, fertilizer, and canned soup is on sale. Sips tea. I'm neither Republican nor Democrat, and this isn't a political channel, says Robert Lufkin, MD. That said, the LA mayor's race is drawing global attention for its bold, AI-powered, highly creative campaign ads. They're on another level. Is this a glimpse of the future of political campaigns everywhere, and maybe even Hollywood?
Out the Dana, smoke in the sky. We were coughing in the kitchen, she was saying bye bye. Spencer, saca la basura. Look what she left on our block. LA looking like a closet where the junk can talk. Spencer, saca la basura. Bag it up, roll it out to the street. Latinos por Pratt, we're singing, cause we're tired of this dirty beat. Sleek and smooth, World Cup coming, nowhere to move. Just lines, delays, we're studying that. But every single pothole still attacks my tires flat. Spencer, saca la basura. All this mess, all this spin, from Hollywood to City Hall. Feels like the trash moved in. Spencer, saca la basura. Tweet that nonsense fast. Latinos for Pratt, we're laughing, cause this clown show can't last.
That's so fire. It's not even it, guys. Basura. LA mayor race. The AI meme lords are not fans of Nithya Raymond. Excuse me. 89% of voters agree that Spencer Pratt was the debate winner. I'm sorry. I said 84, guys. No, I meant 89% of voters agree that Spencer Pratt was the debate winner and hopefully the next mayor of LA, God willing. Check this out.
You're going to watch today as Mayor Bass and Spencer Pratt attack me.
They're gonna talk about me. They're gonna say that I should.
Team America, anyone?
Drop the race.
Please talk about me. Make the whole city know my name. Hi, my name is Nithya, and the worse LA gets, the more money I make. Please talk about me.
A random city council member who's been a failure for 6 years.
Please research how much of your tax money has gone to my NGO, FELAH, Neighborhood Homeless Coalition.
Oh, man.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, man. They're getting hammered, Feisty, and I'm telling you, man, these memes are freaking epic.
It has come to our attention that a Spencer Pratt political ad is going viral.
I already saw it. The one where he's crying about his house. Give me a break with the sob stories. It's time to move on.
No, ma'am. This is a new ad, and it seems to be more powerful.
What do you mean another ad?
It already has millions of views on X. And ma'am, the production value, it looks like a $100 million film.
Where are they getting that kind of money? I personally shut down every damn studio in this city.
Ma'am, it was an AI filmmaker.
What do you mean it was an AI filmmaker? Comms. Polling. MIMWG2 SLBBTQQEIA. Stay. Everyone else, out. Everyone in the entertainment industry is supposed to be out of Los Angeles. What even was the point of the fires? Wasn't the Kamala endorsement supposed to seal the deal? This is meant to be an easy win for me.
It moved 0.3 points, ma'am.
The race might be lost. But if you think I am giving up this office, you are sorely mistaken.
Gotcha, bitch.
I'm telling you, he's absolutely crushing it right now. And good. I think he also. I also reported the other day that he got a $10 million donation. I don't remember who it was from yet. I'll have to see if I can find out. He's getting endorsements from movie stars, though, and he is looking like the front runner. Finally,
You notice something? This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city.
Tammy.
We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back.
Francine. Spencer only spent $100 for these ads, says Francine62. My goodness gracious. All right. Thoughts? What do you think?
You know what I was just thinking?
Yeah.
His home burnt down. He's got skin in the game.
Right.
The other two don't.
They're playing it off like he's just...
I don't care how they're playing it off. If I were a reasonable person looking at who to vote for,
yeah,
one of the first things on my checklist is what kind of skin do you have in the game? And that explains why he's talking dip sites and such like that, because he had a That was a catastrophic event to have him lose his home. So he's got skin in the game. I mean, if you're gonna look at anybody, you look for people that have a bona fide piece of skin in the game. They're looking 100%. For power. They're looking for position. He's saying, no, I want to fix this because.
All right.
That sets them apart right there.
You'd think they'd be scared shitless because of that, right?
I would think, but if you're relying on past fraud or past cover-ups, the media doesn't allow certain things to come out particularly when you sound like a complete and utter idiot. No, don't play that.
Don't play that.
Don't play that.
Well said.
I'm watching you.
I got more on Pratt, but I'm gonna shelve that for now. And I wanted to discuss a little bit of this Hanta virus nonsense.
That's why I was mentioning before. We have they've actually passed a law about gain of function. There's an executive order reapplying, ban on gain of function. Plus, there's a law that was passed. So, if there's a hantavirus, you'll be able to trace and track for sure. But this is where that HAPE network comes in, because who does the global surveillance? That's who. Who is the brains of that new network, right? Of the new world order.
Right.
That's Anthropic.
Oh, gosh. And who was the one who determined this, right?
And they're the ones that determine a global pandemic. And we're not in the WHO anymore.
Thank God. So what does that mean?
We have a very different situation. So if anybody in this country is a part of it, that is a very serious crime on their part.
So what does that make you think of when you see something like this?
I remember that.
From 20 years ago.
With a hantavirus at your mother.
Because go backwards, though, because the actual patent is from 1997. That's where that's coming from.
97, and this clip was from 20 years ago, which would be 2000. You're talking 9 years
2006-ish,
before this.
Right?
Are you familiar with the hantavirus at your mother?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
So you remember when actor and his wife died?
Gene Hackman. Yep.
Okay. She died of hantavirus, right? Remember, she was dead for like a week. He had very advanced Alzheimer, remember?
Yep.
When they went in and they did the study, what did they say? They found rat feces everywhere.
Yes.
In the outbuildings. And I was telling Mary earlier today, that never made sense to me. Why? Because Gene Hackman didn't get hantavirus. She was dead in the house for about a week before they found Gene Hackman.
Because it doesn't pass from human to human.
But it's supposedly highly virulent and transmissible.
What, from rat piss?
The virus itself is supposed to be highly transmissible from human to human.
I thought it isn't.
No, according to what I was researching, that's what they were saying. So, but if she got it, he didn't, and they found rat feces, nests and feces everywhere in the outbuildings. She was in her 60s. Of course, he was much older. I think he's like 30 years older than her.
So, coming up on virus number 2 that was created in a lab.
Right.
Either way, at the end of the day, you have 2 viruses that were created in a fucking lab.
Two of them.
One of them brought this world to a halt. Okay.
Right. So I'm telling you, they're doing, it's the same playbook.
They're going to try the same protocol, yeah.
Listening to Kash Patel, how they played the same playbook to try to overturn Trump.
Mm-hmm.
What makes people think they're not working on this either for the midterms?
Everybody's thinking it. We're all thinking it right now.
But I don't know. This isn't 2020. This is what I'm getting at. It's a very different time. A lot of things have been put in place.
But will it stop them from trying?
No.
Right.
Do I think the virus is real? No. I have no more concern about this virus than I did about COVID, because most of the people that died from COVID died from medical malpractice. You know that.
Right, yes. Thank you to Sly Park. Good to see Sly Park out there. Stay based, stay blessed, stay in prayer. We gotta get one of those shirts made up. Sly Park. Thank you for the shades.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that.
Do you remember?
What is an agency?
You do remember on August 11th, 2020, April 11th of 2020.
Yeah.
For the first time in history, all 50 states declared a state of emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And then Millie comes out going, "This is war, this is war, this is war." Remember? One of the COVID pressers.
Yep.
So if we're playing a movie, then we're playing a movie now.
Yeah, but you know what? Without the vaccine, who knows where we would have been? Without the vaccine and the respirators, the ventilators. Without those, with all those, there wouldn't have been.
I don't know where we
reason.
would have been,
Yeah.
to be very honest.
Yeah.
You've got the testing kits, the PCR tests. Remember that have been proven fraudulent.
Yep.
You got what's the woman from I can't remember the name of the company. Fraudulent tests with a drop of blood.
Mm-hmm.
You had the mask situation. So you had, and remember, in 2019, NIH gave a contract to a company in Florida, in Texas, for the vaccine for COVID. So they were all pre-prepared. And yet, when I look around now, there's nobody developing. Isn't it interesting that we're talking about this? And there's no chain of. I see nothing. I found nothing like I did in 2020 to show the lead up to COVID. There's none of that here. There's no vaccine developed. There's no phase 3 candidates. There's one university working on a vaccine. It is Bath University, funded by the UK.
I heard, by the UK?
Mm-hmm. And Wellcome and British Heart Foundation are two of the biggest donors. And there's a billionaire, too, that's throwing money in, and he's doubling whatever. If up to, at least $100 donation, he will double that with his billions. So they're scrambling for funding.
I'm calling bullshit. I think I found the hantavirus anyways. Hold on.
With such broad sweeping power managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas.
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it? What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future.
A plague?
A plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the rest of the world have been fighting gooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon.
Negotiating with whom?
I think you know.
Do you see it yet? Or as Feisty would say, do you not see, everybody? I think I found the hantavirus, though, Feisty.
Oh, my God. I hope the money is good for these models.
Fuck's sake.
What the?
For crying out loud.
I don't know where you find that shit.
You don't want to know. But I know Dr. Drew has a lot to say. He absolutely loses it over the hantavirus hype. He says it's not a respiratory virus. Stop it
Right.
now. It's been around a long time.
Well, it has.
One has a greater chance of being struck by lightning. We're not
to get that
doing this again.
Really worried. We have a hantavirus outbreak in a cruise ship, and everybody's wanting to do it all over again. Are you freaking? Not good. Is not a respiratory virus. Stop it. Stop it now. Stop the news agencies need to stop. Everybody needs to stop. Hantavirus has been around a long time. It's nasty. Yeah. So is TB. So is a lot of other things. So is rickettsia. Let's deal with the rats problem downtown in Los Angeles. We have murine typhus and pneumonic plague breaking out. Deal with that. But I digress. The fact is that there are structural and philosophical excesses in public health that need to be kind of addressed. And is anyone in public health thinking about this?
I don't think they are. I mean, I think one of the most healthy, useful outcomes of the COVID era was the absolute loss of credibility of the public health religious cult. And, also, I think we all go into public health just like when people go into medicine.
Anyways, that's where I'll end that. I could continue on it, but I don't want to contribute to it because it's madness at this point. I'm over it already before it's even started, guys. All right. Oh, geez, we're getting up to it. All right. Deep State leaks CIA Iran war dossier to WAPO. Now it is Gateway Pundit, but nevertheless, Deep State leaked a CIA Iran war dossier to the Washington Post. Let me grab my glasses. That refutes Trump's claims that the Iranian regime's missiles are mostly decimated. On Wednesday, President Trump sparred with a reporter in the Oval Office during a meeting with the UFC fighters. Feisty. The reporter asked Trump about his decision to pause Project Freedom amid a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump told the reporter that the U.S. military has decimated Iran's missile capabilities and that they probably only had about 18% left. Quote, "You're facing an opponent right now in Iran that has refused to submit. You seem optimistic, announcing you may be closer to a deal. But what's different now?" A reporter asked Trump about his latest decision to pause Project Freedom. "Well, why do you say they refused to submit?" "You don't know that. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors," Trump said. The reporter tried to interject. "They were firing on U.S. troops just a few days ago." Yeah, a few days ago is a long time ago. In the world of war, a few days ago, no. They want to make a deal badly, and we'll see if we get there, Trump said. Quote, "If we get there, they can't have nuclear weapons. It's very simple, but what's not to submit?" So they had a navy with 159 ships, and now every ship is blown to pieces and lying at the bottom of the sea. Trump added, they had an air force, lots of planes, and they don't have any planes. They don't have any anti-aircraft. They don't have any radar left, the president said. Their missiles are mostly decimated. They have some. They're probably 18, 19%, but not a lot by comparison to what they had, he said, and their leaders are all dead, so I think we won. Now it's only a question of, look, if we left right now around, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. Trump said, we're in good shape.
No, it's a logic question, right?
It's a what?
A logic question.
Yes.
If Iran had all those ballistic missiles, as was leaked, they'd be using them, right?
If they had
one ballistic missile on a Chinese freighter does not make a stockpile.
Right.
So I'm sorry. What we're watching play out doesn't seem like they've got a whole. They're being a little more careful with their targets. They're not a barrage. They're trying to use fast boats now.
That's right. Yeah. Little Boston whalers.
Yeah. So if they're going to use the fast boats, if they've got a ballistic missile, why are they using fast boats?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
Logic, like I said, it's a logic question. It would seem to me that what gets leaked to WAPO, sources say, sources close to the situation, I should use the right terminology, say that they are full of shit.
Yeah, it's a confidential.
And so the problem you've got here isn't verifying that report. The problem you've got here is there's an obvious activity to undermine this conflict. Now you've got to stop and say, okay, what is the gain? We already know that it's a pincer, right? It's a squeeze on Brussels, City of London, and Iran, and the illicit shadow network, Shamkhani, and all of those. We already know that's what it is. So what we're saying then, and I would love to have Trump just put that out there. So what you're saying by putting out this kind of salacious garbage is you support them? Because that's what it's coming down to, right?
That's what it looks like.
That would be a war crime if you're, in a certain place. And it's aiding and abetting or supporting the overthrow of our government or aiding and abetting a terrorist organization, which it's already been named. So I'm just saying we're in a place now where we should be able to start hitting back with the questions that pushed them to the edge of their reporting.
That's what it's come down to. I think.
Because this is, to me, when you do confidential CIA analysis, right? I mean, come on. So you're telling me Ratcliffe is dirty
from
now?
WAPO, right?
Right.
Well, that was going to be my question to you. So, what does this suggest about Ratcliffe? If stuff
I think
like
they're
this...
concerned about what Ratcliffe is sharing. They've been
concerned?
Whoever is performing this, whoever is behind the scenes here.
Okay.
They've been going after. First of all, they've been trying to decimate the FBI and DOJ.
Yep.
They can't go after the DOJ too much right now because Blanche is kicking ass, but they're still trying to go after Kash Patel. They've been going after Tulsi since before she became DNI. They've been going after Ratcliffe. They've been more quiet about.
And he's been seen. The only time we've seen him is in the skiffs with Trump.
Right.
That's it.
He stayed out of the limelight. But we also know there's a lot of reporting about Brennan lately. Oh, where's Ratcliffe? Oh, yeah, CIA. It doesn't. And he was DNI under Trump's first term, if you recall.
That's right.
So
towards the end, he was.
Yes, and he was the one after, what was his name? And Sally McCourt and begins with a C. They were DNI. They were supposed to, get documents ready for release, and they couldn't get them done. And then Ratcliffe came in and got them done.
Yep.
And then met with Trump at the Army-Navy game.
Oh, I remember that. Was that the first time they met, though?
No, it's not the first time, but it was a very public, at a point where we needed, it was after, 45 days after the election?
Yeah.
And the Army-Navy game, and they're sitting there?
Yep.
So they know, Ratcliffe knows some things. And it is interesting as we see all this news about Brennan that now Ratcliffe is coming up on the spotlight.
So you think this could? Oh, I see what you're saying. So you think it's possible this could be being used intended to paint Ratcliffe as nefarious, or
rogue, or out of control, or he doesn't have control of the CIA. But you've got this CIA-backed Iran dossier that suddenly leaks. Now, just stop and think. This Iran dossier that brings in the Department of War, and it brings in Ratcliffe, and it brings in everything that's going on over there right now. And who are the stakeholders with the most to lose? City of London, Brussels, Iran, Cuba, Brazil. Go down the rogue nations, right?
Yep. Great point. So why aren't they being mentioned, though?
Why would they be mentioned?
Why? But why isn't anybody mentioning the Brussels or City
Nobody
of London?
mentions Brussels. Nobody talks about Brussels. They barely mention City of London.
Why not, though? Why not?
It's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Why doesn't Trump mention it then?
Oh, he's not going to mention it. You don't want him mentioning it. No. He's doing the quiet squeeze. If he says it out loud, they will go after him rhetorically, right? And all he has to do is keep couching it as this is about Iran and a nuclear weapon. And they know, he knows, they know. The squeeze is on them because they are in a world of hurt right now. The more they squeeze Iranian economy, and remember, Trump is also squeezing the Brazilian economy. He's squeezing the Cuban economy, right? He's taken over Venezuela, so they don't have that rogue nation. And we're taking down mafia and cartels like there's nobody's business. And I don't want you to play that Hegseth video.
Why?
Because
it wouldn't be a good segue.
Not yet. No, I'll do my own segue.
Did you see this?
Yes.
Justice Department veteran reveals President Obama prosecution possible in grand conspiracy case.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
What?
How many times we got to talk about it ain't out of the Oval Office? It's easy to mention the president, though. I really don't think Obama's your problem. I know that's not a popular thought.
You're gonna get.
I get blowback on it all the time.
You're gonna get crickets on that one.
Mm-hmm.
When the global order begins to fracture, there are first of all, thank you to Chris with a cookie. We all know the hantavirus is, in fact, the black goo alien made by the ancient civilization that enslaved the current human civilization, which makes your eyes crystal blue and is what we will see in Disclosure Day.
So everybody's going to turn blue? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, with a side eye. With a side order of side eye. Filter Dog with a cookie says, at Martin Daubney is left speechless as analysis of Labor's performance in the local election so far shows they have lost 83% of the seats that they were defending. Who's Martin Daubney?
I don't know.
Filter Dog, pray tell, who's Martin Daubney? Are you talking about Great Britain?
I don't know. I don't know the
answer to that one either.
Let me look it up.
I got to play one thing, just have a smoke before I give you the floor. All right.
Okay.
Superstar Democrat just quit in shock resignation. Something big seems to be coming. I know it's Benny Johnson, but it'll give me a moment.
Martin Domney is a British commentator, journalist, and former politician. He was the deputy leader of the Reclaim Party.
Oh. GB News, Filter Dog says. Thank you, Filter Dog. All right, I'll be right back.
Democrat Party is the party of crimes, man. This is what's happening over the last 24 hours. Insurrections, FBI raids, and resignations, probably in lieu of criminal activity, all happening all quickly. And it's not what you do if you're a party that assumes it's going to control things or stay in power or have a blue wave in the midterms. They're actually running scared, and they even want to fire the DNC chairman.
Feisty and Sean to steal my thunder.
It's kind of a party in panic, in fact. So what's going on? Let's catalog all of it. FBI raids Spamberger ally as federal corruption probe
for today,
targets
Sean.
cannabis business. This is in Virginia. Louise Lucas, so is the people you most expect. She's been in office for over 30 years. She's like the Nancy Pelosi of Virginia. And she's in charge of the Senate. She's somebody who brought you the completely and totally illegal and retarded congressional map in Virginia. And she was raided. Federal agents whipped out their guns and stormed her offices yesterday. You can see that happening right here in the shot. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a heck of a day in Virginia. And the governor did not defend her. She didn't even defend herself in a statement. And so not a good look, frankly. It doesn't seem like it's a strong play for the...
To comment a slightly around also what happened within the last hour. The senator...
I appreciate them using show of force in these kind of operations and in these moments. You can see here, they have literally the guns drawn. Good for you. You know, good for you, feds. Why don't you pull like a reverse J6 on these people, right? Like, remember how they went guns drawn, guns blazing into trailer parks for 90-year-old grandmothers who were waving 25-cent Walmart flags as they obeyed all the rules inside of the U.S. Capitol during a peaceful protest? Yeah, okay. There should have been a non-peaceful protest when the killing of Irina Zastruka shocked the nation. She was, of course, that white girl. And why do I say white girl? Well, because that's what her murderer, her killer, who'd been released 14 different times for 14 different violent crimes in Charlotte, said after he slit her throat and she died alone on the Charlotte Transit. Well, anyway, the mayor of Charlotte is now resigning. That's right. Her name is V. Lyles. She's Democrat mayor of Charlotte. She is one of those individuals who is totally woke. If you go to Charlotte, the entire city is in ashes. It is filthy. It is disgusting downtown. It's dangerous, of course. It's a nasty place to be. The suburbs are fine, but we all know why, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't have public transit going out to the suburbs. The Democrat mayor of Charlotte just announced that she is resigning from office only 6 months after being reelected. That is a crisis. This is a crisis for the Democrat Party. The same mayor who claimed we will never arrest our way out of issues like homelessness and mental health after Irina Zastruka was murdered by a career criminal in her city. Good riddance. Look at this. She brought you this. What is this phenotype? You know? What is this phenotype exactly? What is that? I don't know. But it says incompetent leadership to me, and that's exactly what you got. Embattled Charlotte, North Carolina mayor in Charlotte, by the way, redistricted, added another Republican seat, so good for them in North Carolina. She announces her resignation after brutally failing the city. After Irina Zastruka was murdered, she went full soft on crime. She said, we can't arrest our way out of homelessness. Good riddance. She got reelected recently. The resignation takes effect at the end of June. So in 1 month, she was the first black female mayor of the city. Got it? How'd that work out for everyone? well, not well for this poor individual.
Her grandchildren and let a new generation. Vi Lyles says that she will not seek re-election in 2027 and plans to step down early at the end of June. Lyles became Charlotte's first Black female mayor in 2017, and she said, quote, "Serving as Charlotte's mayor has been the honor of my life," adding she is ready to spend more time with her grandchildren and let a new generation of leaders.
Is it the honor of your life, or are you quitting early, and why are you quitting early? Is it because this trial is going to go on and you're going to be found liable for this? Is it because of other criminality, just like we found out in Virginia? What's going on here? Because the feds are looking into you, just like they're looking into Fulton County, Georgia, and Maricopa, Arizona. I don't know. She's got to be guilty of something pretty bad. She's a Democrat, longtime Democrat. Charlotte Mayor V. Lyles, 73, makes a surprise announcement that she's just done. She was just reelected. That indictments are coming. Yeah, something big is about to happen. I agree. Another DEI disaster. Good riddance, a dirt bag. Absolutely astonishing that V. Lyles was even reelected. She's been a total failure for Charlotte. Democrats have destroyed the city. Yeah, it is a hideous city. I was just in Charlotte about a year ago. Oh, man. No hate, right? It's not like I'm trying to hate on Charlotte. It was just sick. It was disgusting. I couldn't believe how filthy it was. For context, V. Lyles was elected 6 months ago. Something big is going on here. Charlotte mayor is resigning after being reelected 6 months ago. I'm sure that's not code for anything. Charlotte mayor wants to spend more time with her grandkids. Got it after like speaking like some type of hero at the DNC convention. Their stupid little pins and sconces. Yeah, you are cooked, lady. Charlotte DA targets repeat offenders amid 15% uptown crime. So it looks like they're doing further law enforcement in the actual city. Crazed homeless man accused of slaughtering Irina Zastruka on train found incompetent to stand trial. Remember this? They said, yo, we're just going to let this guy. This guy was competent to be let out of jail 14 different times, but now that he's killed a white girl and we have him dead to rights for the electric chair, we're going to say he's incompetent. It enraged me. I actually called the DOJ. Like, I threw a fit. I called the DOJ about this.
And I see what you put in there in the chat, that you think these resignations are about more than the elections at this point.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to go deep into Louise Lucas.
Okay.
Because, us Virginians are like on the edge of our seat.
We were all thinking about you when we reported on this, Feisty.
It's not about cannabis, right?
It has nothing to do with cannabis, of course.
Has absolutely nothing. Nothing.
I want to say
I've been talking about this since yesterday morning about 11 o'clock. Followed it all day long. Looked heavily into it. And when it came out late last night, finally, that it was about Lucas Lodge.
I don't know what Lucas Lodge is.
Lucas Lodge are her family enterprises. They are 100% Medicaid funded.
Whoa, really?
And the investigation's been going on since 2021.
That doesn't make sense because Trump wasn't in office at that time.
No, but, we had a certain person tell us about 3 terms.
Whoa, Sly Park just gifted a 3-month silver tier subscription to Feisty. Wow. So, I wanted to announce this before we get started. Well, you can go ahead and get ready if you want to, but I'm going to do a mug giveaway at the end of the night for anyone, even if it's just a cookie, okay? Even if it's just a cookie donation, your name will get thrown in a drawing at the end of the night.
You can't throw my name in. That would be wrong.
I know it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
No.
Yeah, it would.
Either way, Filter Dog's name, Chris, Sly Park, Andy B2, Krista, Sean Joe, Izzy Q, Charlie 3 or 5, Dylan 1954, Jen Hall, and Dixie's name so far will get thrown in the drawing for a mug giveaway at the end of the night. And if we somehow break, I don't know, 10K gold pills tonight, then I'll consider doing 2 mugs. So I'll announce it one more time here in a little bit. But I know Johnny did one last night, and so I wanted to share the wealth. Anyways, and thank you again, Sly Park.
So are you aware that right now,
Honorable Libby, thank you for the shades.
In the UK, I'm pulling it up. I want to show you what's going on in the UK as we speak, because you're going to like it.
Okay. Thank you, Donna Bolibby, for the banger shades. Appreciate you, love. And good to see you.
I'm going to show this real quick, and then I got to stop sharing to show my screen. Do you see that?
I do. English council seats.
Do you see who the Reform Party, how many seats they got? This is a rebuke of Starmer if I ever saw one.
Whoa.
Reform Party. Everybody's down except for, I can't remember what the initials stand for.
Green Party.
But I don't remember who's what.
Oh.
The Green Party just picked up 3 seats, but the Reform Party just swept the floor. And everybody lost.
The Reform Party, so that's just anybody these people want. They're done with whatever. They want reform.
They're done with Starmer.
Chris with the cookie says, if I win, my mug prize goes to Marissa for all her hard work for Arm Chats. Shout out to Marissa. Isn't this family awesome?
I really appreciate the subscription.
Yeah, shout out to Sly Park.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop sharing for a second, reshare.
Okay.
Because I've got a night. It's my turn.
Yes, it is.
My turn.
She sent me 2 texts today saying, what did you say?
I said I got a banger of a show.
Yeah, you said you got a banger set up for tonight.
Right?
Stay tuned, guys. Things about to get spicy.
Yeah. I think you're going to enjoy what I've got. I got to just figure out what screen I'm showing. There we go.
Marissa, you know we love you too. Lula. You're muted.
Lula's in town. So you remember his story, right?
Yes. Bad actor.
How far back can you go? You remember the Supreme Judicial guy pardoned him, took him out of prison?
He took it from Bolsonaro, and then
they swept the election, stole the election, took it away from Bolsonaro.
Yeah.
And then the same Morales that got him out of prison,
the evil-looking dude,
then put Bolsonaro in prison for 29 years. And so what did Trump do?
Sanction
Trump,
him?
He put 50% tariffs on him.
Oh, wow. For jailing, for imprisoning Bolsonaro. He's still in prison, right?
Yes.
And his daughter is it his daughter or his son running for?
His son is running, and it looks like he could win. But Morales is still an issue. So Trump wants Morales sanctioned. He wants him dealt with, right? And he wants Bolsonaro out of prison. And that 50% tariff doesn't go away until that happens. So I just concluded my meeting, the very dynamic president of Brazil, right?
Yeah.
So I said into the chat room, sounds like somebody went to the woodshed. So let me give you a little bit of background on Morales. Morales' wife is under investigation with the equivalent of the Brazilian federal police, right? Like an FBI, and the Brazilian central bank. Why? They're connected to the shadow banking system. On the shadow banking system. So the justice that was overseeing the investigation got pushed out, and the guy, he was a Morales ally, and the guy in there now is not a Morales ally. So that's what this is about. And we know that it didn't go well because when Silva was going to hold a scheduled presser, instead they walked away. He blew off the presser.
Who did? Lula?
Lula. That's the Brazilian press leaving because Lula wasn't going to hold a presser after meeting with Trump. And when you go back here and you look at him talking about a dynamic president of Brazil, we discussed many topics, including trade and specifically tariffs. Remember, we got 50% tariffs. You will deal with Morales and you will get Bolsonaro out of prison, right? The meeting went very well. In other words, when you know the background, you have to almost, tears come to your eyes as you're laughing, right?
Yeah.
Our representatives are scheduled to get together to discuss certain key elements. Additional meetings will be scheduled over the coming months as necessary.
You may want to pause that clip. Because I hear that in the background. Yep, there you go.
But isn't that funny?
Yes. So he's being tongue-in-cheek.
He was taken to the woodshed.
Yeah. What do you think he was? What do you think he was told?
He was told you will get Bolsonaro out of prison and you will deal with Morales.
Yeah, but there was something else he held over his head, though, too.
I think those two things are it because that's what the tariffs are over. That's what the tariffs are. That's why he put 50% tariffs on Brazil.
A while ago.
Yeah. And Lula came because he came begging to have them removed, and Trump went, yeah, not happening.
But if you get Bolsonaro...
He says here, and specifically tariffs.
But I feel like he probably put something else on top of it, though. To piss off Lula that much?
Well, no, Lula's going home empty-handed. That's not going to work out well when you're...
Is he, though? But if he releases Bolsonaro, then the tariffs get lifted. So
yeah, but here's
Lula
the problem.
Wasn't willing to announce that to his press.
Okay, so because the Morales there's a bit of an issue here. Morales is connected to the largest criminal organization in Brazil, the PCC. So how does Lula go back home when this major cartel is what's keeping Morales where he's at? And Lula's beholden to Morales because Lula was in prison for fraud and corruption. Morales took him out. He commuted his sentence, took him out to run against Bolsonaro. That's kind of
controlled. He doesn't really have a choice.
He's completely controlled.
He doesn't have a choice.
And Trump is saying, "Well, you got one way to get these tariffs lifted."
Yeah.
What does Lula go home with?
He's not gonna release Bolsonaro.
He can't.
He can't.
So the flip side of that is what Morales' wife is involved in, which obviously means him, is the money laundering scandal. She's connected to an illicit shadow banking scam.
Wow.
That the Brazilian Central Bank and the Brazilian equivalent of our FBI are currently investigating, and they just put in place, that's the Banco Master investigation that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hysterical because Lula obviously was sent in to try to get those tariffs lifted, and Trump said not happening. It's right here, trade and specifically tariffs.
So when he says something like the meeting went very well, we really shouldn't expect anything out of it, though, right?
In other words, you remember the Uno cards the other day?
Yes, yes.
Trump holds the cards. And what's really interesting about all of these different places around the world, Trump has got the cards so held that he doesn't have to make a deal. All he has to do is wait out their economic clock. 50% tariffs on Brazil is painful.
And I'm seeing all sorts of proof lately that that's what they think they're doing, is waiting Trump out.
Yeah, but he's got an economic hold on all these places.
That you think is going to cause them pain before he's even out of office, right?
Yeah. Well, we already know Europe, the EU, is not doing well, right? They can't get oil in.
Right. And China, for that matter, keeps taking
China
hits
right
as well.
now just got dragged to the table.
Yeah.
A missile hit one of their transports. And like I said when we opened, Trump is going to China in just 7 days.
Yes, Filter Dog, this is what Feisty is saying, is that this is exactly why Lula didn't do the presser after the meeting.
What was he going to say? He can't come out and say it went well. He probably left crying. Or at least some sweat, because now he's got to go back home to that cartel and say, I'm empty-handed. I mean, that doesn't do well for him.
Hold on a second. This is the problem I'm having. What did they expect? Did they expect, before they left, didn't they say, well, we got to give him some concessions. We got to give him something that he wants in order to get these tariffs lifted. Now, he's probably going to say to me, Bolsonaro, got to get him out of prison. Mm-hmm. So what happens when I go to the White House and I say, I can't get Bolsonaro? So
Trump says,
my handlers are telling me I can't get Bolsonaro.
And then Trump says additional meetings will be scheduled over the coming months as necessary.
Which tells me that maybe that he's going back home to work with his handlers to get Bolsonaro released.
Something to do with that, yes.
And do something about that Supreme Court justice guy.
I don't know what he does about that Supreme Court justice guy. I think we wait on that.
Do we even have the jurisdiction to be investigating anything having to do with Brazil or the Central Bank of Brazil?
No, unless it directly impacts us, which I don't know. But the Banco Master situation is illicit use of the shadow banking system. That's directly connected to that.
Okay.
They're actually calling the operation, the investigation, called Compliance Zero. It's the name of the operation to look into that.
All right.
So, I mean, I'm just looking at this going, well, there's another set of cards Trump is holding.
Mm-hmm.
And Lula just came out. He literally blew off the presser. So he didn't come out on top.
So the press traveled all that way.
And they went back to to the plane. Yeah, that's what that is. That's the Brazilian press.
Yikes.
See, President Trump must have destroyed leftist Lula behind closed doors. I am 100% in agreement with that.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that's what it was said. I just pulled up the video.
I nearly forgot. I think I got you a interview.
Me?
Yeah.
With
a crypto rich.
Oh, neat.
That's the guy who's been interviewing Stephen Kuhn, the Promethean ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get you connected with the Promethean. I need to get that a conversation between you two going. Either you and Barbara or you and Susan. We got to get that.
Doesn't matter. I would love to talk to both of them.
Yeah, we got to get. I've been really picturing conversations. How dynamic that. Speaking of dynamic, how dynamic that conversation would be. And they were literally talking about Zanjani.
Did they?
Yes. Yesterday or 2 days ago.
Praise the Lord. That's the first time.
And I was like, oh my gosh, the word's starting to get out.
I've been talking about Zanjani for
I know you have been.
Months.
So when I heard that the other night, it sang to me. So.
Okay. So did you see this post by the White House? I couldn't stop laughing. Took me 7 scrolls to get all the way to the bottom. Wait a minute. Where is it? You see, I'm still going down. Still going down. Till you get to MAGA.
What?
I have a feeling it has to do. They call this the Illinois Revenge, by the way. We swept the Indiana primaries, or they call it the Indiana Revenge.
Yeah.
We swept the primaries, and they're calling it in coup for president.
Yeah.
Why won't GOP lawmakers abandon Trump? Look to Indiana. You can't stop laughing when you see this stuff.
Oh, man. Hey, shout out to Charlie. Thank you for the cookies, friend.
You see it's Daily Kos going, oh, why won't they just? Sometimes the headlines are fun, okay?
Yeah.
But I want to go to another one, and this is my coup de grace.
I know. I held off on this story just for your...
I told you.
Yeah, I know.
So Rubio is at the Vatican today. Okay. I'm laughing at this one because what's really funny about Rubio is what he gave to the Pope. Did you see what he gave the Pope as a gift? He gave him a little paperweight. It's in the shape of a football. What is the satchel with the nuclear codes called?
Oh my gosh.
So he's going to the Pope.
You gotta be kidding me.
He gave him a paperweight called a football. Do you know what the Pope gave Rubio?
Oh, don't even tell me. What?
A pen made out of an olive tree.
Oh my God. No way.
I can't do it. I can't. I was going to be serious about this.
You gotta be kidding me. Look at their faces right now, too.
So they had a very good meeting, but this is a welcome that you give a head of state, not a secretary of state. The man that Rubio is meeting with...
Rubio is holding meetings at
the man that Rubio's that's Cardinal Parolin. He's the Secretary of State at the Vatican. So you got two number twos with a head of state welcome as... Rubio goes in with our nuclear. The pontiff gives back an olive tree. No, the pen.
Oh my gosh! Is that Melania too?
No, that's Rubio's wife.
Oh, geez, she's beautiful.
They all are.
She looks like she had the hair like Melania. Okay.
It's actually yellower and blonder.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can't miss that part, right?
Wow. Okay. So what's the message being sent there?
The message here is literal. Remember, what did Trump just say yesterday?
Oh, putting the ball in your court?
The Pope, he said the Pope needs to understand Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. That is the Pope accepting non-proliferation, right? That they're both in agreement against nuclear proliferation by Iran. And to achieve peace, you got to have non-proliferation. So they're in agreement.
Just to keep the Pope updated as to what the intentions are here?
Okay, do you really think the Pope needed to be updated as to the intentions? I mean, the Pope's brother and Trump are...
no.
Okay,
no.
So, but what this was about, literally, is all this hullabaloo over the Pope and Trump, which was never... the media takes the Pope out of context.
All the time.
All the time.
I never saw it until, like, the last year, and now I can't... I see it all the time.
I'm going to congratulate myself for getting you to open your eye on that one.
It's incredible.
Because it happens all the time. But anyway, I did a show on just war versus war of choice a couple weeks ago, explaining the difference. And most people didn't even know there was a thing called a just war doctrine, which I showed. It goes back to the 4th century, by the way, guys. Anyway, so now you've got the Pope has his little football, and Rubio's coming home with an olive pen.
The just war
and all is good.
The just war doctrine is for anyone who does know, is a moral framework that outlines the conditions under which a war can be considered ethically justified.
4 conditions.
Right. It includes a criteria for both the justification of going to war, known as jus ad bellum, and the conduct of war, emphasizing that war should only be a last resort and must be conducted in a way that minimizes harm to non-combatants.
So pull it up a little further, go a little deeper, because I read them. You read the 4 conditions, and you understand that Trump has been following. I did it on your show, in fact, one day. Trump has been following just war doctrine to a T.
Yeah. It's important to repeat things because, again,
you want me to pull it up? I'm happy to.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to give people just a rough, just to keep them up to speed. There's actually 6 criteria.
No, there's only 4.
Just cause, legitimate authority, right intention, last resort, reasonable chance of success, and proportionality.
Well, you cover those.
Yeah.
But just war, just so you know. Remember I did this slide for you. Remember this slide? Just war doctrine, just cause. The war is a necessary defense against state-sponsored terror and Iranian aggression. Legitimate authority, invoking the president's Article 2 powers, which he did. Right intention, aiming to establish long-term regional stability and neutralize nuclear threats. This is right down. And it's the war of last choice stance that diplomatic channels were exhausted or deemed ineffective for the current regime.
Yep.
So there you have it. And of course, if you go look on X under hashtag war of choice, you will find it's the left calling what Trump is doing in Iran war of choice.
Calling it a war of choice, yeah.
And they're saying that they're saying the exact opposite of all of this. There was no imminent threat.
They're saying he has no end game. He has not explained, his goal, his intentions, right?
Right.
So anytime that they try to call out that he doesn't have the authority to do this, that he has no reason, no just cause for it, he has not laid out his intentions. What they're trying to highlight is is what's known as the just war doctrine.
So Krista just did something. I got to look at it.
While you do that, thank you to Krista. Rubio. 45-47 thesis. What?
Protestant Reformation.
You got to play it. I think he says something in this.
Wait a minute.
I've come to pin my 45-47 thesis to the door of St. Peter's Basilica. Let the reform begin. I've come to pin my 45-47 thesis to the door of St. Peter's
Krista.
Basilica.
And thank you again, Wow,
Krista,
Charlie.
that was precious. It's precious.
Charlie with 5 cookies. My goodness. Thank you so much, Charlie.
So, do you want me to play this? It's 59 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is holding meetings at the Vatican after wrapping up a face-to-face with Pope Leo. This trip comes as President Trump holds firm on his stance on Iran, despite criticism from the leader of the Catholic Church.
So, Madeline Rubin, just from Washington with the details. Maddie. Good morning. So we'll wait to see if Secretary Rubio was able to ease the tensions between the president and the Pope. Rubio made it clear, though, guys, that was not the main point of this trip. He says this visit had been planned before these exchanges between President Trump and Pope Leo. Still, this was a moment
right
for
down
dialogue.
To the football, right?
The Pope said he had hoped they could reach a moment of understanding. The president, though, argues Pope Leo does not understand what is at stake in Iran, saying this leading up to Rubio's trip.
Well, I can tell you this, that as far as the Pope is concerned, it's very simple. Whether I make him happy or I don't make him happy, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Fox News Alert.
So the media, you gotta love the media. They're out there saying that Trump and the Pope are at odds. Mm-hmm. Did you hear Trump say anything about being at Okay, I just was wanting to check to make sure I wasn't hearing
whether he said whether he is happy or whether he's not happy. That's not
Iran can't have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
he's addressing a particular question that was addressed to him about the Pope. So. Right.
So, yeah. So the fact that but I have to laugh. I mean,
the fact that he's not addressing that the Pope isn't upset with him. The fact that he hasn't addressed that. That's interesting in itself. No?
We've talked about this before. Trump has not said. In fact, the comments that originally started this were over something the Pope didn't say anyway.
Right. But does Trump know that?
Yes.
Yeah,
because Trump would have really hit back. It was people out in the ecosphere talking about or chastising the Pope for going political, which he didn't.
Yeah.
So, but this is a big deal that they gave Marco Rubio a head of state welcome to bring his football paperweight to the Pope for an olive pen. I love it. I love it. So I want to talk about Todd Blanche. He schooled this reporter today. This is 2 minutes.
Playing this.
I told you not to. Thank you for don't.
Mm-hmm. Former President Barack Obama said, and I quote, "The White House shouldn't be able to direct the Attorney General to go around prosecuting whoever the president wants to prosecute." You're the Attorney General. What is your response?
That's rich.
Coincidentally, I happen to have, I think, a copy of
I think he just happens
our Constitution. To have it. So if we want, we can read our Constitution together.
Article 2.
Article 2 says the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. It does not say that the Attorney General stands off to the side. So I'm an acting Attorney General. The Attorney General is a member of the cabinet of the President of the United States.
Yes, they are.
The Constitution gives the President power. So I question people in this country that suggest that President Trump, as the chief executive of the United States, does not have the authority or the right or shouldn't be leading this country in all areas, including what we need to be doing to get rid of crime in this country. And so I'm not familiar with the comments you just talked about, but to the extent that President Trump calls me and says that he thinks that we have a problem in this country, whether it's this scourge of drugs, illegal immigration, every American wants him to do that, and he should.
But the accusation here from the former president is that your department is now charging political adversaries of the president or perceived political adversaries of the president on his behalf to settle scores.
There's something extraordinarily rich about a Democrat suggesting that this administration is charging our political adversaries. I mean, first of all, we're not. Second of all, how about we think about what happened the past 4 years? It wasn't just President Trump that got indicted repeatedly in multiple district courts, in multiple jurisdictions, but it was also his entire administration, what was called into the grand jury. Members of his Secret Service detail had to testify in the grand jury. So I welcome criticism. Let's go. But let's see, if you're sitting in a glass house, you ought not throw stones.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So let me just go on. This, if you're sitting in a glass house.
Do we need to go down the list of things that was directly from Obama to his DOJ?
Exactly, right?
Holy shit. It's a laundry list.
So Louise Lucas, as you know.
She's Virginia's Nancy Pelosi.
She is the Senate President pro tem.
Was.
Well, she still is. She hasn't resigned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's got much longer to go.
No, I don't think so either.
But she's been in office.
Going on, though. It's
she's
not
been
just
office.
dispensary,
Yeah,
right?
since she's been in office almost as long as we've been here in Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah, like a little over 30 years. So she's been around a while.
Must be a very racist state, too, you know?
Well, she's down in the Norfolk area, so it has become.
Oh.
So let me just give you some of the heads up about her. She runs a business called Lucas Lodge. The professional center that was raided yesterday is the headquarters for those enterprises. Lucas Lodge is a conglomerate of family businesses that are 100% funded by Medicaid. Right next door to that professional center, there is a cannabis dispensary. We found out early on that at least there could have been more. When I did the count on all of her enterprises before we found out there were 10, there was about 10 enterprises around the state that are attached to Lucas Lodge. Okay? So it's obviously about Lucas Lodge. You start digging into those 10 warrants and what you find out, not just, she's got Lucas Lodge Residential, Lucas Transportation, Portsmouth Day Support Program, and Southside Direct Care Provider. So these are all 100% Medicaid funded. She also, the residential is a direct care facility for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay.
Are we hearing something familiar?
Yeah, fraud. She's running, is it like
Right.
hospice fraud, I'm sensing?
Not just hospice.
Yeah.
These are Medicaid funded programs. It's a Medicaid fraud.
Is she funding her own campaigns with this?
Well, let me get into this.
Oh my gosh, don't even tell me.
She just put a provision in the 2026 budget that increases Medicaid rates, and her businesses were 100% funded by Medicaid. Cannabis.
Holy shit.
The cannabis dispensary. She's the architect of the provision that set
What an
the limits.
idiot.
I know. She's the architect of when they made cannabis legal in Virginia. She's the architect of the provision that set the THC limits. And she's accused, the cannabis dispensary is accused of selling product that exceeds THC limits.
Wow.
So that's totally blown off your own law, right? So they went after her home. They went after her residential. Kept looking at this. And I kept saying, no, this is about Medicaid. This is about Medicaid. Well, last night I did an update. Found out, this is where it gets really good. Since 2021, she's been under investigation. 2021, Eastern District of Virginia, that would be Biden. This is Biden's FBI. This is Director Wray, right?
Yep.
You ready for this? 217 violation concerns, 46 violations. And I started to giggle. Second term Trump with the Biden. Pause, 46. Yeah, that was me. I know it's a stretch, but it was fun. Yeah, 217 violations since 2021. And they were investigating as to why she never corrected. She just blew them off. She never corrected any of the things they found.
She never thought she'd be caught.
What are they looking at? They're looking at, it's literally, there's a couple of things. Obviously, you got the Medicaid fraud, but she's also being questioned over her pay for play. What was interesting, of course, 4 a.m. talking points don't come out at 4 a.m. anymore. We had two House people, Don Scott, who's the House Speaker, and Bobby Scott, who's the House Representative, both came out and tried to paint it as a retaliation, political, racist, of course. Abigail Spanberger was asked, and she said she was aware of what was going on, but she wouldn't comment any further while the investigation is ongoing. And I said, oopsie, somebody knows what's going on, and she's staying quiet. So that's a big deal. So then when I did the final update, and I'm going to just go through this, FBI and DEA agents raided the Lucas Professional Center in Portsmouth. I went through the residential facilities. They're investigating her for Medicaid pay-to-play. Sources indicate investigators are looking into Lucas's sponsorship of that 2026 budget bill that I just told you about. They're talking about how she took bribes in return for cannabis dispensary licenses.
No way.
Yeah. And they're also looking into the fact that she's been accused by many of taking or soliciting and or accepting bribes in exchange for legislative influence.
Oh my gosh.
So when you finally pull all this together, you have the three that were arrested yesterday. By the way, they've been released. They were detained for questioning and released.
Yep.
So about what they know. But the investigation started under the Biden administration in 2021. Like I said, 217 citations, 46 failures to implement corrective actions.
Oh my gosh.
At least 10 locations were raided, and it's all over the state. But go ahead.
Did you see Andy McCabe?
No.
Jake Tapper with former deputy director Andrew McCabe, everybody's favorite deputy director, discuss the FBI raids, the offices of Virginia State Senator Louise Lucas.
Yeah, they're real nervous. The Democrats are. Remember, McCabe had money funneled through then Governor Terry McAuliffe, to get his wife elected.
So crooked.
Yeah, the corruption in Virginia is pretty outstanding.
Well, because nobody's dared to do anything about it. And
well, Virginia, by the way, just thought you would know, on the badboys.us site.
Yeah.
The state with the most public corruption just happens to be Virginia.
Are you serious? Is it really?
I'm dead serious, yes.
I thought it was California or Texas.
Nope. We got like 400. I can't remember the number. I'll have to pull it up. So you remember when Trump said he was in his third term? He just put this out on the 30th. See it?
Anybody running for president or vice president should be forced to take a cognitive examination prior to entering the race. By doing so, we wouldn't be surprised at people like Barack Hussein Obama or Sleepy Joe Biden getting elected, in all quotes. Our country would be a much better place. I took the exam 3 times during my 3 terms as president. And aced it all 3 times. An achievement that even on a single exam, according to the doctors, has rarely been done before.
I brought that up specifically because we've got a lot of fraud coming out.
Yeah, you can say that again.
We've got a lot of fraud, and these are public officials, right?
But nothing's happening, I thought, though, Feisty.
Of course not. Which brings us to Department veteran reveals President Obama prosecution possible in grand conspiracy case against Trump. Says Comey's 8647 indictment will likely survive First Amendment challenges.
Who will likely charge? I mean, likely.
Comey's 8647. Do you want me to play it?
You don't agree with that?
I don't think so.
A paid national security analyst for NBC News. Is it possible that every time Brennan went on television that he was restarting the clock, sort of a furtherance of the conspiracy?
Essentially, yes. Not every time he's talking about anything, but if he's literally talking about the conduct back in 2016, 17, if he's denying kind of tipping the scales against President Trump by getting this intelligence report out, that could work. It's going to be the subject of pretrial litigation. I mean, there's going to be motions to dismiss if you're being somewhat creative with restarting the clock on statute of limitations. But generally speaking, obstructionist behavior, conspiracy, conduct designed to keep that thing secret and successful is the type of thing that helps you avoid the statute of limitations.
Brennan, like so many of these other former senior national security officials, wrote a book. How much does the book and his own words come back to haunt him in a prosecution?
And that's the common thread through so many of these cases that deal with like classified information or politicized behavior. So, boy, the hubris of wanting to get a bestseller tends to trip up people a lot. It may not be something where the book has confessions, right? These are going to be pretty self-serving books. But there could be what they call false exculpatories, like things where he's clearly lying. You can prove that he's lying about something. And then you argue to a judge or jury someday that, people lie for a reason, and it's because he knew he did something wrong.
Or he's trying to sell his book.
He was trying to hawk a book. Yeah. What it's saying is, and that was the thing to take out of this, is he and McCabe especially have both spent a lot of time in front of the camera talking about Trump. And everything they said, even the lies, can be used against them.
Yep.
Which you already know. And everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Right. So that brings up Tulsi Gabbard. Trump were misled on election security, memos show, and it's coming into was an investigation into evidence that spy agencies tried to conceal U.S. election vulnerabilities, including whistleblower claims that a CIA officer was asked to alter evidence of China meddling, and President Trump and Congress were intentionally kept in the dark involving China and Venezuela. Now, I don't know if you recall. If you go back a bit, remember we talked about Radcliffe being at the Army-Navy game. Remember they came out and said it was Russia? And Radcliffe put out a statement saying China is a threat. And then Radcliffe met with Trump at the Army-Navy game. Do you remember that, right?
Yep.
So what John Solomon is saying is that they've got evidence that they were trying to mislead Trump on election security, which we already knew. We've known this. This is not new news if you look into that. So what is the purpose of this coming out? You've got now election. You got all this fraud across the country. You've got the Russiagate stuff. All of this is culminating. And I have been saying forever that you are working on a grand conspiracy case. Right? So here we go, because that brings us to Dan Bongino. Did you see this?
Was this wasn't today, was it?
Yes.
I am asked all the one question I get about my other job, and the FBI just got out of
about what he saw. Yeah,
is what was with the tweet, the shock to my core.
Listen to what he says.
Yeah.
Well, in case you missed it, some of you may have. I'm going to tell you. Because what Barack Obama, former president, said the other day on, was it Colbert's show?
He knows.
No. We're not.
And there's more to come.
Sorry. No, we're not doing that. I know things too, Mr. President, and so do you. Not pretending I was at your level. You were the president. I was just the deputy director of the FBI, but it's not a small thing.
Do you.
And I'm not letting you get away with this. No chance.
I found that interesting. I know things too, Mr. President. So do you.
There's more, he says.
Yeah, I know there's more. I haven't listened to his whole...
He said that right after this, he says that there's to sit tight. That you haven't even... He said you haven't even heard the end of this. and you have no idea what is to come.
Which is why I had to bring up this one.
Yes.
This was a fantastic interview.
Yeah, Hannity's got both his interviews. These last 2 interviews have been bangers.
He did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I usually can't stand to listen to him.
I can't either.
He did not interrupt.
No.
He wasn't talking over.
Yeah.
He had some very lucid and very well stated questions.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with Hannity, and I haven't been for a long time. So I'm starting this specifically at 39 minutes. Listen, I'm going to go for 3 minutes.
Okay. His surrogates in his campaign, they cover it up. So I learned as a lead investigator on House Intel that it's not my words that are the best evidence, it's theirs. Go find the documents. So what we did was, when we walked in the door, I said, hey, this conspiracy continued. It didn't end, because the documents we released under the House Intel days showed that there were individuals who are continuing the work of the Steele dossier. And I said, these documents, computer hard drives, have to exist somewhere. And this is the part that's frustrating to me too. People are saying, rightfully so, where's the accountability? Where are the arrests? We are undoing 30 years of weaponization.
Did you catch that?
30 years of weaponization.
Did you catch that yesterday? Did you catch it yesterday?
No. When is this in the interview?
39 minutes in, about 40 minutes.
I should have caught it then. I should have caught it then.
So let's go back 30 years. Let's do memory hole. Okay? You recognize this guy?
It's Louis Freeh.
You recognize him as One Eye, right?
Yeah.
Remember my Rothstein dig?
Oh, yes.
He wrote this fabulous book, by the way, called My FBI. So
How did he get that? The eye again?
He was in a car accident in 2014.
Not just any car accident.
Not just any. He hit a mailbox. And he almost died.
He almost died.
Because his femoral artery was pierced.
Right.
Can't figure this out. Somebody tried to take him out. You know that.
Somebody tried to take him out. Yeah.
Somebody tried to take him out, and he lost an eye. So he's in the 90s.
And he severed the artery. What? His femoral artery? He should have died.
That's what the article said. He should have died. But
should have died.
But miraculously, first responders were on the scene like that.
They would have had to have been within 2 to 3 minutes. That femoral artery gushes. You're goner. Holy
so anyway,
shit.
He survived.
Wow.
Much to the disdain of whomever tried to take him out. He's, like I said, he's in the 90s. He's a Bill Clinton appointee to the head of the FBI. 2001, Mueller comes in, and remember, Freeh goes private, and Clinton's then starting to travel all around the world with Epstein, remember? So that's Mueller. Then you've got Comey, who gets fired, and this asshat becomes the FBI. Now, why did I point him out? Because the day he was fired, his lawyer stood outside the FBI main justice and said, we can't see all the documents because they're, quote, under seal.
His lawyer said this?
His lawyer said that the day he was fired.
Why was he prevented from seeing it?
Because they were under seal. In other words, they hadn't charged him yet.
Oh, he was implicated.
So that's when McCabe found out he was under investigation. A grand jury type investigation.
Why is he jumping on CNN and running his suck pipe?
It's called being desperate, okay?
Oh, I don't give a shit. That's going to be used against him.
That brings you to Director Wray.
Yeah, who he didn't utter a bad word about him once. And he was asked about him, too.
Let me see.
We are doing that while delivering record results on crime reduction in America. And we got to get it right. So we found that room that Dan Bongino talked about. The burn bag room.
Explain a burn bag.
It's basically a large paper bag that you use to destroy and literally shred and burn classified information. So
let me explain burn bags, because I have used burn bags in the past.
By the way, thank you to Beach Nana and Krista.
They are sequentially numbered. And when it comes time to destroy, they're in batches. And when it comes time to destroy them, those numbers are paired up, chain of custody, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's a missing bag, you literally turn the building upside down to go find it.
Yep.
That doesn't get...
Nothing moves forward until that bag is found.
So I'm going to go back to 30 years. I'm going to go back. And I want to remind you, we were told Ray is a sleeper in the future.
Future marker. What's the date on that? July 29th.
July 29th, 2019. When was Durham made? When did his probe become criminal? October.
Oh gosh, yeah.
July 29th. Epstein's in custody. It's before he did not kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
And you have now also at the same time you have the
he's alive.
Zelensky perfect phone call.
Yeah, we know he's alive.
Okay. Do you remember me showing you this?
No.
You don't remember it?
No.
The avenging angel who takes on the FBI. Just went through all the directors.
Oh, yes, I do.
This
Okay,
is
I remember.
John Durham has been researching and investigating the FBI since the 90s. 30 years, do the math.
So that two FBIs that Bongino mentioned in his interview with Hannity, that's who that second
You're
FBI.
talking Louis Freeh and Mueller.
What about him?
They would have known. They're the head of the FBI.
Yeah.
So there's two. Now, go back to the sequential bags. 30 years of investigations. Burn bags found in a closet off the director's office. That was, quote, off the grid, right? Off the map.
Bullshit.
30 years. So that...
Done in 30?
Done in 30. What that does point to me is that all these FBI directors, maybe with the exception of McCabe, knew about what was going into
When
those
did it
bags.
begin? But do we know exactly what year it began?
Durham? It was like 96 is when Durham started.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it shows it in here.
96?
It was in the 90s.
So it's been 31 years.
I don't think this article tells.
This would be 30 years.
This is 30 years.
This is the... Holy shit, Feisty.
So Durham, and I've pointed this out, and I should
Holy
just to add to this. Let me pull up.
That's several posts. Why would Flynn plead guilty to something untrue? Expand your thinking. What was completely released today? Flynn, done in 30. Expand. Done in 30.
Oh, where is it?
House cleaning. White House secured. Final stage. Done in 30. Done in 30. Is that what that means? What about this one? What is over or under Sullivan retires, steps down by March 2021 based on public info regarding possible coordinated efforts.
Okay, look at the,
and it
look at the
says
screen.
Gosh, possible coordinated efforts semicolon OSC Mueller. Done in 30.
Done in 30.
What is the over or under done in 30 months? Oh, it says 30 months. 3/27/18. What is the over or under done in 30 months? Maybe it's the over. Okay, go ahead.
So I want to point out on November 5th, 2017, remember, we found out in 2019 that Durham was actually appointed by Sessions on October 28th, 2017, the day Q started. Okay.
Sessions?
But
Was
we
it really?
we didn't know that until 2019 when his probe became criminal.
Right.
Then his wiki got updated with the date.
Because he got a hell of a standing ovation as he left too. Sessions did.
Yes, yes. So
he's
on
your little
November
Keebler
5th,
elf.
2017, we get St. Michael. Who is St. Michael? It's God's avenging angel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He avenged God by casting Satan or Lucifer and a third of the stars out of heaven to earth, remember?
Isn't that what Durham's called?
Yeah, it just happens to be called the avenging angel. So finally, after all those years, we got proof that that's about Durham.
So Durham's not done.
No, he can't be done. I don't know. Well, he's retired, but I think his son, because remember, his son is in the Eastern District of Connecticut right now, he's in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
So Durham's son has been the one who's been on the task force to keep our community safe. He's the one that infiltrated all of these gangbanger groups, cartel groups. They infiltrated and they got everybody, kind of fingered.
Mm-hmm.
So I also mentioned on my show on Wednesday, people don't understand what Durham did. The Kleinsmith indictment, what did that prove? Bias could be leveraged.
Mm-hmm.
Sussman, what did that prove? It was more than Alpha Bank. It was proving there was a domestic spy operation. Danchenko, what did that prove? It proved there was an international component to the spy operation. 30 years, and you got Kash Patel talking about what? Russiagate. Are we getting close?
You're damn right we are.
Isn't that beautiful?
Which is probably why Obama came out and made that statement.
So I wanted to point out something, because this is equally important, because all of it has to happen together. We got one chance to get it right. It's got to happen together. I can't play this whole piece.
Why?
Because it's, how many minutes is it? I don't even know.
What did that say?
This is Rumsfeld in 2001. Yeah, we're not going to...
Next, a Pentagon briefing with Defense Secretary.
The same could be said of a variety of other functions, from public affairs to legislative affairs.
Can you play 5 minutes of it?
Any of them.
Take a bathroom break
I
real
have a
quick.
strong suspicion that we need fewer than we have, and we're going to take a good hard look and find out. Department headquarters are hardly the only scenes of redundant bureaucracy. Healthcare is another. Each service branch has its own surgeon general and medical operation. At the department level, 4 different agencies claim some degree of control over the delivery of military health care. Consider this snapshot. 1 out of every 5 officers in the United States Navy is a physician. That's not to single out the Navy or to suggest that too many doctors wear uniforms. The Navy and Marine Corps' forward deployments generate unique medical needs. Rather, it's to say that some of those needs, especially where they may involve general practice or specialties unrelated to combat, might be more efficiently delivered by the private sector. And all of them would likely be more efficiently delivered with fewer overlapping bureaucracies. We've begun to consolidate healthcare delivery under our Tri-Career Management activity. Over the next 2 years, we will reform the procurement of care from the private sector. I've asked the military departments and Personnel and Readiness Organization to complete a revamping of the military health system by fiscal year 2003. DoD also has 3 exchange systems and a separate commissary system, all providing similar goods and services. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that consolidating them could save some $300 million. I've asked that we promptly explore the use of tools like consolidation and contracting to ensure our uniformed personnel and their families get the very best. Congress has mandated that we reduce headquarters staffs by 15% by fiscal year 2003. I have ordered at least an overall 15% reduction from fiscal year 1999 levels in the numerous headquarters staffs overall throughout the department, from the Pentagon to the sinks to every base headquarters building in the world. It's not just the law, it's a good idea, and we're going to get it done. It's the right thing to do. To transform the department, we must look outside this building as well. Consequently, the Senior Executive Council will scour the department for functions that could be performed better and more cheaply through commercial outsourcing. Here, too, we must ask tough questions. Here are a few. Why is DOD one of the last organizations around that still cuts its own checks? When an entire industry exists to run warehouses efficiently, why do we own and operate so many of our own? At bases around the world, why do we pick up our own garbage and mop our own floors rather than contracting services out, as many businesses do? And surely we can outsource more computer system support. Maybe we need agencies for some of those functions. Indeed, I know we do. Perhaps a public-private partnership would make sense for others. And I don't doubt at least a few could be outsourced altogether. Like the private sector's best-in-class companies, DOD should aim for excellence in functions that are either directly related to warfighting or must be performed by the department. But in all other cases, we should seek suppliers who can provide these non-core activities efficiently and effectively. The Senior Executive Council will begin a review of the Defense Finance and Accounting Service, the Defense Logistics Agency, and Defense Information Service Agency. Harnessing the expertise of the private sector is about something more, however. The Department of Defense was once an engine of technological innovation. Today, the private sector is leading the way in many respects. Yet DOD makes it harder and harder for us to keep up, and for those who do keep up, to do business with the department. Consider that it takes today twice as long as it did in 1975 to produce a new weapon system, at a time when new generations of technology are churned out every 18 to 24 months. That virtually guarantees that weapon systems are at least a generation old, technologically, the day they're deployed. Meanwhile, our process and regulations have become so burdensome that many businesses have simply chosen not to do business with the Department of Defense. To transform the department, we must take advantage of the private sector's expertise. I've asked the members of the Senior Executive Council to streamline the acquisition process and spur innovation in our traditional supplier base. Finally, and perhaps most important, we must forge a new compact with warfighters and those who support them, one that honors their service and understands their needs and encourages them to make national defense a lifelong career. Many of the skills we most require are also in high demand in the private sector, as all of you know. To compete, we need to bring the Department of Defense the human resources practices that have already transformed the private sector. Our compact with warfighters will address quality of life issues like improvements in health care and housing, where we will make more use of public-private partnerships, and by working to reduce the amount of time they must spend away from their families on deployment. No business I have known could survive under the policies we apply to our uniformed personnel. We encourage and often force servicemen and women to retire after 20 years of service, after we've spent millions of dollars to train them, and when, still in their 40s, they're at the peak of their talents and skills. Because our objective is to produce generalists, officers are most often rotated out of assignments every 12 to 24 months, giving them a flavor of all things, but too often making them experts at none. Both policies exact a toll in institutional memory, in skill, and in combat readiness. To that end, we intend to submit revised personnel legislation to the Congress at the beginning of fiscal year 2003. If a shortcoming on the uniform side is moving personnel too much, on the civilian end we map hardly any career path at all. There too we must employ the tools of modern business, more flexible compensation packages, modern recruiting techniques, and better training. Let me conclude with this note. Some may ask defensively so, will this war on bureaucracy succeed where others have failed? To that I offer three replies. First is the acknowledgement, indeed this caution. Change is hard. It's hard for some to bear, and it's hard for all of us to achieve. There's a myth, sort of a legend, that money enters this building and disappears like a bright light into a black hole, never to be seen again. In truth, there is a real person at the other end of every dollar. A real person who's in charge of every domain, and that means that there will be real consequences from and real resistance to fundamental change. We will not complete this work in 1 year, or 5 years, or even 8 years. An institution built with trillions of dollars over decades of time does not turn on a dime. Some say it's like turning a battleship. I suspect it's more difficult.
I'm going to stop that there because if you speed ahead to the 2016 campaign, you get the infamous video that would get Trump elected. Shall we play that 5-minute video?
Sure.
A failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interests, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friend. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented, and the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew
They would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefit of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
Okay, before I go much further, I wanted to remind people, how many times do we have to be told they never thought she would lose? They. That's not Clinton. She would lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is it attached to? You just listened to Rumsfeld tell you he was starting a war on bureaucracy. He was telling you that they were looking into the money. He was telling you they can't find $2.3 trillion. He told you it goes into a black hole and they write their own checks at DOD. He also told you that it had to go outside of DOD to other agencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are 15 years later, and Trump is talking about the deep state. Now, I'm going to remind people, while he's pinning on Clinton, this is a campaign against Hillary Clinton. Just keep that in mind. He had to couch it from a Clinton perspective. Let me tell you the story as you digest what this is saying. Right after the election in 2016, Hillary Clinton met with the FBI in the field office in White Plains, New York.
Okay.
Okay. She met, it was an entire day.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this like it was yesterday. It was an entire day. The Scooby van went into the gates closed. She didn't come out until like 4 p.m.
Okay.
January 15th, 2017, the Clinton Global Initiative shut down. That notice, it's called a WARN notice, WARN. That notice was on the New York State Department of Labor site. It's still there. I don't have it handy or I'd show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
She closed that down. Exactly 2 weeks later, on February 1st, the Biden Foundation opened up. What are we talking about here? We are talking about a center of operations. And Q asked us how many times, what are the foundations used for? The money laundering. What did they point out there? All the big banks, all the hedge funds, right? So if they never thought she would lose, and the panic is in D.C., I've very carefully over the last couple of months, I showed you the money side of things. I've been showing you the administrative state. I showed you the influence state with LCCR, right, HR. So what we're talking about here, as you go through this, is a systematic destruction of the old guard in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what Rumsfeld said. We're not going to do it in 1 year. We're not going to do it in 4 years. We're not even going to do it in 8 years. Right? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So here we are, 25 years later, and we get this.
Bureaucracy was doing the same. A broken Pentagon bureaucracy was doing the same thing for decades. When our warfighters needed more weapons, aircraft, and ships, the Department of Defense allowed contractors to double dip at your expense. They charged you, the taxpayer, to build their factories, and then charged you again for the final product. And despite paying companies to make weapons faster, schedule delays were constant, and cost overruns were the norm. All while their CEOs got rich. But today, President Trump's War Department is flipping this rigged system on its head. We're not tolerating delays in production or cost overruns anymore. We've pushed out the bureaucrats who've made these deals in the past and replaced them with the most talented negotiators in the private sector. A group of businessmen so elite, they've been rightly dubbed Deal Team 6. It's simple. We're putting the American taxpayer first by offering you a better deal. We now move at the speed of business, not bureaucracy. Now when a defense company expands its production to sell more equipment to the U.S. military, they pay the bill. They pay for new factories, assembly lines, manufacturing plants, not the taxpayer. In exchange, we're giving these companies steady, long-term orders for exactly what our warriors need. And defense companies are making things in higher volumes, much more quickly while keeping their prices flat.
Wow.
If these companies fail to deliver, we will hold them accountable and bring in new companies who will. Speed, volume, and fiscal responsibility. It's common sense. And it's what the American taxpayer demands.
Yep.
This War Department has made the move from bureaucracy to business. Over the next month, we will release a series of videos that highlight how President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion defense budget will make a generational investment in our arsenal of freedom. This investment will secure and protect the homeland and ensure America's military remains the most lethal fighting force on earth for generations to come. We're going to spend every dollar of that money responsibly because that's what you deserve, that's what America needs, and that's what this president demands.
Give me that same.
So, I now want to take you down my fun part. This will end my evening, but I wanted to just highlight that we've been in this war with the bureaucracy forever. Rumsfeld called it out. Unfortunately, the next day they got even. We had 9/11. We have Trump telling you we're here to do it. You got Hegseth telling you it's done. I showed you on Monday, showed you about a guy named James Baker who had a largely...
Not the James Baker that
not
you all think of.
Not you, and not James Baker out of the DOJ. James Baker ran the Office of Net Assessments. Their job largely was to analyze information for a threat assessment. His budget was shielded, black. Nobody knows what he was doing, but we do know that he funneled money to Stefan Halper. For whatever reason, Stefan Halper, of course, is Russiagate, right?
Yep.
So I also showed you where it was defense largely behind COVID. I showed you that map.
Yep.
Showed you all the documents. So I'm just going to point out that Hegseth's video is perfectly in line with what I showed you on Monday. Okay? And he's saying more is coming out. But what is he telling you? He's telling you that what Rumsfeld started and Trump promised to complete is being done now in Trump's third term. What does it tell you about Trump's third term? We had an existential threat against this country, and COG got pulled into play, which is another huge research project I did. So, it occurred to me this morning that Dan Scavino's dog videos are about fraud. Let me walk you through. You remember these videos?
Yep.
Remember the door? Door opens, have all those dogs. You remember this?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So the date of this video is January 2nd, 2022. Look what happened in January of 2022. We had a $250 million COVID fraud scheme. When did that scheme happen? Where is it? Come on.
We said when?
It was 250 sites throughout Minnesota between March of 2020, January 2022.
Wow, Minnesota. Jeez.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. This is a cute video. This is from 19 November 23.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Remember this?
Yeah.
The dog runs into the leaves, right? Let me show you what happens. That's Sam Bankman-Fried.
Oh, wow.
Want another one? We have a picture of dogs coming in the door, right? This is from May 18th, 2025. You got the Doge service, May 6th, 26th. I don't know why that's there. This one I love. This is from, hold on. I don't have the date on it. This is from December of 25. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you can figure this one out. Please tell me you get it.
He's watching.
No. Did you catch what was on the table?
A candy.
Food and water.
Yeah, food and water. Oh, okay.
What did Nick Shirley break in December of 2025? Feeding Our Future?
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is where we found out in June of 25.
No, that was 2026. That was...
No, we're not in December of 26 yet. This was just this past... Nick Shirley was in December. December of 25. December 29th.
That was January, wasn't it?
No, it was in December. I've got the video to prove it.
Okay.
Anyway, so in June of 25, Trump appointed Joseph H. Thompson as acting U.S. attorney for the District of Minnesota.
Minnesota, I remember him. Yep.
Right? And I told you, Thompson is the guy who was investigating feeding our future.
Yep.
And he said Minnesota has left the door wide open to fraud. Get the video from the dogs, right? Then we find out that on June 30th, they did a huge healthcare takedown. Where?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Keep going. We also found out that there was a huge fraud scheme that was uncovered in Maryland. Let's keep going. This is Christmas. Now stop it there. That leash isn't on the dog. Is the dog unleashed?
And blending in.
All Christmassy, right? Nick Shirley. Look at that. The dog is not leashed. Let's unleash Nick Shirley.
Independent journalist who published that video, which now has over 100 million views,
Nick
tells
Shirley.
Fox News the scam is extensive.
I've known about the fraud taking place for a long time. Minnesotans have been telling me for a long time about the Somali fraud that is taking place.
The Somali fraud. Keep going. The FBI, December 22nd, 2025. So Thompson's investigation wasn't ignored. FBI is involved. I love this video. Okay, so what's going on? Comer on December 22nd opened up the fraud investigations in the House.
I had this clip. If you lie in your financial disclosure form, that is a felony. Rep. Ilhan Bromar didn't have many assets, just mysterious company she listed as worth $30 million, but now revised to worthless. Right. And Comer said that doesn't pass a smell test. He just said that on
So, what do you
Maria.
think? The dog comms are about fraud? They perfectly line up, every single one of them.
Certainly, but just about fraud?
I think so. I have more. I didn't think we would. I think it's about uncovering fraud. Now, what's interesting to me is the ones with the doors, because I love the Feeding Our Future one, with the dogs looking through the door with their tongues hanging out.
Yeah.
Starving and hungry. Right as a Feeding Our Future investigation was kicked off. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm thinking, the door ones. So we've talked for a long time about removing the boot off our throat. And you can only do so much at the federal level, but what we found because of all of the public health fraud, that you can actually reach into the states, which is what's getting Louise Lucas all wrapped up in chains. That removing that boot off our throat, that a level of fraud at the state level, and they're arresting people, state officials who are involved in this. And we know, because of their complicity, that we've got that one of the articles was where you had several secretaries of state. Where is it? Largest result of 2025 national health care fraud takedown. This is dated June 30th. This is from 2025. Okay?
Yep.
324 defendants, 96 doctors, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, and other licensed medical professionals in 50 districts and 12 state attorneys general's offices across the United States for their alleged participation in various healthcare fraud.
Did you hear just today Minnesota allowed a multi-million-dollar Medicaid fraudster to escape to Kenya?
To Kenya.
And gave his accomplices 0 time in jail.
Right.
They stole $11 million from taxpayers and no jail time. So are these judges going to get caught up in this too?
I think so.
Huh.
Because what does fraud do, right? Everybody complicit, then it's also a conspiracy, right?
You got to prove that, but that's...
Well, you don't have to actually, if you remember, I went through that with 11.3, 11.4, if you want me to bring that up again. You don't have to personally know the other parties. You're just a part of the scheme.
Ooh, wow.
So let's recap. Russiagate, check. War on bureaucracy and a coup, check. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Rifts in the government and a big takedown, check. Public health fraud, check. Are we following?
Yeah.
All of this is now front and center. And you've got Kash Patel promising Hannity.
And you have the international component.
We've got that going on at the same time.
Wow.
What did Kash tell Hannity? They have enough evidence to take them all down. And that big smile of his when he asked about the burn bags. There were good people inside the FBI. And then he wouldn't talk about the directors.
Chris brings up a great point. Interesting how, as fraud is being uncovered, the food and water clip where the dog wasn't doors but looked like airline seats.
Yeah, they did. Let me go back and grab it.
When was that?
This is from, I don't remember the date. I got to look at it.
Spirit Airlines?
I don't know that they're airline seats.
Those don't look like just any seats. Maybe train.
I think it's more like a train. I love this picture. I love this video. But they're hungry and thirsty. What's on the table? know. The tongue's hanging out.
Wow, Feisty. Danny Scabs, huh? Bringing it home. Think? Oh, my gosh.
So do you think
Yeah.
It holds water?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. Undeniable.
I think it's funny because this is happening just as Nick Shirley's coming out. We've already got Thompson has already investigated it. And then Comer opens up a big investigation in the House on the same thing. This is December.
Oh, my gosh. All right, don't stop share. I'm putting something in the Zoom chat. Check this out. Scavino just posted this an hour ago.
Okay.
And it's in response to White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles has asked how she works for somebody, quote, somebody who never sleeps. She says, we divide it and I get the early calls and Dan Scavino gets the late calls.
Do you know what the owl symbolism is? Weavers need not come here. Owls eat spiders. What is the web? These are the protectors. These are the night protectors.
They're running 24/7.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Asked how she works for somebody who never sleeps. We divide it, and I get the early calls. Dan Scavino gets the late calls. And he's on duty.
And she's on X. She's on X, by the way, now.
Yeah, I follow her now.
Wow.
Is that something else or what?
Holy cow. And then, did you see? So go to his account. Scroll down to the next. You're gonna love this one.
Oh wow, the aliens! I guess that report's due out. We got to get that out of the way before we move on to this big stuff. I'm just saying.
That would be interesting if they were to release this and then right on the heels of that were to
start just bringing all this other stuff.
Unsealing indictments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm serious. We've got to answer this question.
Why?
You got to get it out of your thinking, because what's coming out is going to require all of your brain cells.
Oh, yeah. Again, restoring faith and trust.
Mm-hmm. Faith and trust.
In government.
Which is a Q post. It is our hope that we regain the faith and trust of the American people. So what are your thoughts now? I didn't launch
I'm still processing.
I didn't launch you, though.
No, I'm still processing. Like, there's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots in trusted positions. Trust yourself. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. You can properly trigger a lot of people to trust the source. Have faith and trust in yourself. Trust Dan.
Look up It Is Our Hope. That's the big post.
Oh my gosh, there's so many posts with trust in it.
Mm-hmm.
It is our hope.
It is our hope. 34? 35?
Yeah, 35. It is our hope that this message reaches enough people to make a meaningful impact. We cannot yet telegraph this message through normal methods. For reasons I'm sure everyone can understand, follow the questions from the previous thread and remain calm. That's the POTUS will be protected on Air Force One post.
Oh, wait a minute. What other post had It Is Our Hope? Because that was the one. Hold on.
While you do that, holy cow. Hey, Daisy just came in with an EMP. How did that happen? And I totally missed that one. My goodness, and my stream deck just froze. Shout out to Daisy and my goodness, Mountain Dog Boy with a cookie. Michelle Shelley with a cookie. Thank you, guys. Moda with a can. Daisy with an EMP. Lobster Mobster with a holy ship. Says here for the mug. Just kidding. Another great show tonight, y'all. God bless you, Lobster Mobster.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Feisty. It's
so the post I want you to look at. The search is regain the trust. The credibility of our institutions.
Oh my gosh.
Constitutional law that governs our great land, our republic, and our ability to regain the trust and faith of the American people all depends on our ability to restore equal justice under the law. And what were we just told? It doesn't matter who you are. No one is above the law. It's been coming up a lot lately.
Oh, imagine handing the government over to anybody else not related or linked to Trump after Trump just provided transparency. I mean, epic, unprecedented levels of transparency for the first time in not just our lives, arguably in American history.
I was telling you that the other day, that the one thing I have noticed is how transparent things are.
I said that
as
on
I'm
Joe's
doing
show
my
the other
research.
day,
I'm
too.
finding documents I never found before.
Yeah, I said that on the Skiff yesterday too. That transparency is
off the charts.
Off the charts in this administration. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Why would you want to hand that to anybody
else? Right.
You're going to lose it. But maybe, God forbid, precipice.
But it is clear to me that what's on deck right now is public corruption. You got people stepping down midway through their term. You've got people literally being arrested in their public office. You've got this raid that's going on, and there's been other raids. Oh my gosh, we were all on the edge of our seats yesterday.
I bet. And you knew it was. Everybody knew it had. No, there's no way it has anything to do with just a dispensary.
And it had nothing to do. It does, but it doesn't really have anything.
The core purpose.
No, the core was that she was doing pay for play. So I think while we're here
too, she was brazen about it, huh?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
She's been doing it for a long time.
The pay for play has been going on for a while. The investigation started in 2021. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. God bless burn bags, right?
Who, mind you, again, Cash didn't even badmouth. That's the one thing. That's the really one of the
he
major
said,
things.
I don't want to start talking
up.
about any directors, he said.
And he didn't. So for anybody out there who has a hard on about Ray, I'm sorry. But I think you're going to be proven that Ray did do something.
Yes.
And again, a lot of these investigations started under Ray.
Well, under Ray, I did pull some stats for him. The amount of corruption investigations he started. It's like almost 4,000 of them during his tenure. And we knew he was all over the country. And we know Kash Patel he said in this interview, the grand juries, they've been putting witnesses in all the grand juries. So they've got direct witnesses, which you can rightfully assume are FBI, the good staff, right? Are now government witnesses that are going before grand juries. He specifically said grand juries, plural, a lot of them across all the states. So we're not talking about something that's starting. We're talking about something that's ending. Now, I'm going to make this point too. It's one thing for us to note the transparency and all the great things happening. The general public isn't watching this because they're not being told any of this.
Right.
Something big has to come out pretty damn quick, or our 250th is hollow, and the 2026 midterms are lost. Just going to point it out.
We have a month and a half.
Yes. People need to see a substantive difference in their lives.
What could it be?
Well, we also remember when and I think it will be. We'll we'll toss that out there. When Elon Musk talked about all the fraud, the money they were recovering, and that the Americans deserved a dividend. I saw information about that the other day. That's a real possibility. I don't know when, but soon.
I demand my reparations, damn it.
Right.
By the way, thank you to Ghost Peppers, who says that mug is mine. Hip to the clip. Thank you for the cookie. Thank you, Krista, with a cookie for Whiskey Blue entry. I will do those entries for the mug giveaway. And again, shout out to there it is. Shout out to Daisy James with an EMP. My goodness, thank you, Daisy. Didn't have to do that. Thank you to again, Mountain Dog Boy, Michelle Shell, and Conservative Chris with a cookie. Based on what I see on the cultural side of things, I'm calling it that June will be a large disclosure month, especially with the amount of distractions, entertainment converging on that month. In my opinion, that's an interesting take. Yeah,
it's an interesting take. Well, Trump also told us that when he returned from China, it would be a new world. Remember?
Yeah.
And it would be a historic visit.
Yes. Man, I'm going to be processing this for a minute. And
Do you have a headache?
No. Because listen, I got, hold on. I have an entire interview with Nick Shirley. Okay. Also, okay, I can get rid of that Hegseth one. Justice Department veteran reveals President Obama prosecution possible in grand conspiracy from Catherine Herridge. Case against President Trump says James Comey's 8647 indictment will likely survive.
That's the video I
Amendment
played.
Challenges. You played a minute and a half clip from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Asked if the cases were viable. Trustee identified 18 USC 242 as the leading statute for prosecutions in the alleged grand conspiracy. So I find it interesting that he says it'll survive the First Amendment challenges, but mentions a grand conspiracy.
Well, because there's got to be more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
There's got to be more. And now, this is my opinion.
And
it was interesting.
It says, and discusses how the former CIA director John Brennan's TV appearances and recently published book may have reset the clock on the statute of limitations. Trustee also addressed James Comey's recent 8647 threat indictment and possible superseding false statement charges. So I'm going to play this next.
Back up for a second. You cannot dismiss how Todd Blanche and Kash Patel distanced themselves from that indictment in their presser. It was so obvious. Everybody in my chat room caught it. We played it, and it's like, wow. They distanced themselves from the Comey indictment. They would take no questions. They took almost no questions, and then they quickly left the room. It was a very short presser announcing the indictment. Just going to point that out. The other thing, how do you inject evidence legally?
Discovery.
Uh-huh.
Through discovery.
What does Comey get to do?
He gets to request yes.
He's the one that gets to request discovery. He gets to know everything the government's got on him.
How could that benefit him?
Because he has rebuttals.
Is he going to be used? Does he know he's going to be used?
I would venture he's no dummy.
He's not a dummy, but
I'm just saying we need to hold off on our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I don't think that story is near told. That 8647 is a bullshit charge. That the 8647, you have to go backwards. 8645, 8646, 8647. It's been used right along. Why is Comey? I mean, in fact, 8647 had been going viral for over a month before he did that seashells. And I told you, look at it. There's 17 yellow shells and 6, 4, and 7 equals 17. How many more calms do you need?
There was a raid from Alpha. Did we get really raided from Alpha Warrior?
Hi, Alpha.
And Spin City. Shout out to Spin City. And did Alpha Warrior really raid us?
It looks
he
like
did
it.
Raid us. What's up, bro? Thanks for the raid.
But it's exciting to
Welcome in,
think
Patriots.
what everything is going on right now, isn't it?
To say the least. I'm still processing what you just laid out because, you had me. I was just shocked every time, but especially with those going back and reviewing those comms that I thought I already figured out once upon a time. Apparently, I didn't.
Every single one of them paired right up.
They have to know that they're being investigated at this point. They have to know that every time they commit, you got that coup that you just talked about. That resets the clock.
I don't think it's the...
Which makes me think that this is going on in perpetuity. Why not just delay this? All right, if you think that you're implicated in this grand conspiracy, and then every time somebody...
my opinion is...
Why not just continuously...
Let them keep trying, because every time they try, I don't have to worry about the statute of limitations.
Yeah, but then...
Until I'm ready to pop it.
They're going to die before they... Oh, they can make their escape plan.
Well, if you recall, there are people being watched, and travel has been disrupted already, right?
Well, with the creation
passports were already pulled.
And this is the thing with the AI thing, too, why it's so critical to get Trump in now, of all times. Like, it had to be now.
And Cash said it, too. We got one opportunity to get this right.
Yeah. Wow, this is incredible. Thank you, Feisty.
I guess I'm being dismissed now. Oh, you at least stood up. Thank you. You at least stood up. God bless you. It's only taken me 4 months to get you to do that again.
Now go get some rest, will you? You've worked your ass off this year, this week, but this week you've worked your ass off. A hell of a show banger on Monday was crazy. I
got more to do.
We've all been. What do you mean?
I got to do 4.2 on Monday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I'm praying nothing big hits yet. Because I can't do a 4.3. I got to get that done.
Well, you have all weekend.
Well, I just don't want to have to add so much. There's been a number of things still coming out that I'm lining up and putting in.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do another 38 slide deck. That was a painful deck on Monday.
Painful?
To get through that whole thing?
You got people still going back and rewatching it now. Seriously.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Then you got that Tulsi Gabbard thing today on the memos, the CIA memo showing CIA cover
I only
up.
touched on it. I didn't go all the way through it, but
yeah. Anyways, go get some rest. Thank you,
everybody.
God bless.
I'm being dutifully dismissed.
Yes, you are. Give my love to Kevin. I mean Matt.
Not Kevin. Mary and I have decided his name is not Kevin.
Kevin. Okay, yeah.
In fact, every time Mary and I talk, she says, "Hi, not Kevin."
Hi, not Kevin. Shout out to not Kevin. All right. Well, thank you.
Talk to you all later.
God
Have a
bless.
good night.
All right. You guys must have thought that was it. No, we got more. We got more for you guys. All right, we'll take you right up. Well, go as long as you want. We can go all night long if we want to. Like I said, I got fraud, all sorts of fraud to expose. I even brought a Keep It Up segment for you guys. And you know what? The best thing to do on the heels of what she just revealed, Andy McCabe, right? You remember how she just said that when he became acting director, FBI director, his lawyer came out and said that they couldn't have access to it, right? To his files. But I got him, who just joined Jake Tapeworm, to discuss the FBI raids on the offices of Virginia State Senator Luis Lucas. Check this out.
So let's talk about this all with former...
Actually, hold on. Patriot Drummer, thank you for the cookie. Good to see you out there.
We got Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, former Republican congressman.
What? Oh, no, look, they get nickel nuts with them on the right there, too.
Adam Kinzinger. Andy McCabe, so let me start with you. The FBI will not say on the record why they executed the search warrant at the offices and businesses of the Virginia State Senator, Luis Lucas. What was your reaction to the news?
You know, it's shocking, Jake, and it raises a couple of really interesting points. First, of course, this is a search warrant. It's not an indictment. She hasn't been charged with anything. She certainly hasn't been convicted of any wrongdoing. Every search warrant is accompanied by an affidavit. That's the facts that are presented to the judge, upon which the judge determines that there's probably...
What? Is it seriously this clip?
Cause to believe there's evidence of a crime inside that location. We don't see those facts. We don't typically see those affidavits.
Are you kidding me right now? Look at him listen to him obfuscate right now. Hold on, let me refresh this. See if that helps.
Director Andrew McCabe.
Really? Oh, for crying out loud.
Of any wrongdoing. Every search warrant is accompanied by an
fucking gay. All right, piss off, tapeworm. You know what? I'll just screw it. We'll just go right to Catherine Herridge, guys.
This week on Straight to the Point, a hitchhiker's guide to the grand conspiracy against President Trump. What is the legal theory behind it? And can these cases stand up in the federal courts? New criminal charges against the former
for crying out loud.
FBI Director James Comey. Is the former CIA Director John Brennan next? And will former President Barack Obama have to answer to allegations of a treasonous conspiracy to undermine the results of the 2016 presidential election? Your questions answered, the declassified records decoded, and why the Florida federal courts may be the battleground. So let's get straight to the point. Is the
Oh, hell no!
You serious right now? You fucking with me? Steven, is that you? Hold on. Let me do an internet speed test. Because this is really unusual. So bullshit.
The grand conspiracy case about...
Look at this shit. Now, I'm getting over a gig right now. Now, this should not be happening. I'm getting well over a gig. It's just under a gig now. Download speed, 942.78
hobbling
megabytes.
A sitting president of the United States.
Well, timing-wise,
this is ridiculous.
Certainly suggests that to me. You know, an outgoing president manufacturing intelligence information with the help of a CIA director. If that's all true, that seems directed towards fueling what became kind of frivolous impeachments from my perspective.
What is the legal theory behind the grand conspiracy, and is it viable in the federal courts?
I think there's a good chance that you're talking about a deprivation of civil rights under 18 U.S. Code 242. Ironically, perhaps, you could argue that there